All right, and we're live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we're talking to my buddy Nate McCord. We went to what the hell did we do together? We went to the MO. We went to our MOS school together at Fort Meade.
Yeah.
We were stationed together at First Marine Division in California for a bit in Camp Pendleton, and now Nate McCord is a competition shooter. What's up, dude? How you doing tonight? Even though we just had like a 15-minute. What's up, chat?
Not a whole lot, man. Like, man, I got out in 2015.
Yeah.
Holy, what the fuck is that bug? Got out in 2015, and did pretty much fuck all until last year when I started school. I was working at gun stores in the part-time work and basically following my now wife around. But yeah, so all right, now I'm going to school full time, do a little competition shooting whenever I can, and
yeah, dude, how's competition shooting been with the fucking COVID?
it sucked at first. There was nothing. All the major matches, so what I shoot is mostly Steel Challenge. It's like a sub organization thing of USPSA. Really fun. It's a great competition to get started with.
Right.
But all of our major matches were supposed to be in the spring and summer, and that everything got rescheduled, and now they're like stacking on top of each other in the fall and the winter,
trying to play catch up.
Yeah.
It's funny because you would think with the whole like, hey, wear a mask thing, they'd be like, all right, cool. So everybody get like full tactical, get a fucking gas mask, and let's do it that way.
There might have been. The stuff I shoot's not very tactical. I try to get out to some of those matches, but the other thing you got to think about is the shooting community is not the mask wearing community.
Yeah, which you think they would be, because it's like the rest of the time it's been like, hey, I don't want the government to know where I'm at. Yeah. So the rest of the time you would think it'd be like, hey, I don't want the government to know where I'm at, or these people to spy on me. So I should be able to wear a mask out in public so that they can't identify who I am. And then all of a sudden, hey, wear a mask. Excuse me, no.
Yeah, one would think, but I think with Trump's stance and things being politicized that don't need to be politicized, like
big one.
A big part of the gun community is not like, I mean, I've been to matches where like I wear a mask like late spring when it was like everyone's really panicking,
right?
Like I'd show up and it's like, I am the only one here with a mask on. All right, it's gone.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah, no, there is I guess a social fucking aspect to that too, because like even if nobody says anything, and this is not just with masks, this is like with anything. Even if nobody's saying anything, if there's one person different, that one person's gonna feel uncomfortable and try to fit to the norm of the rest of the group. That herd mentality shit.
Well, I mean, and even just Georgia in general, no one wears masks out here. Probably less than 30% of people when we're going out.
And that's everywhere?
Just about. I mean, like at the grocery store, you might see a little bit more, but yeah, most of the time, like I finally stopped wearing one at school because it was like me and one or two other students.
Yeah.
And I'm doing machining right now. So a mask and safety goggles and trying to like get in real close and look at shit, it just doesn't work together.
Well, you would think you would have something over your face anyway, like maybe not like a full welding like face helmet, but
not really like working on like the mill and the lathe. On the mill, it wouldn't be a bad idea. That thing's fucking insane, throwing chips everywhere. But yeah, I mean it's a nuisance, and I don't know. I think I don't watch like cable news,
right?
So my perception is right now there isn't like the mass hysteria that it was like March, April, when like that was the news cycle. I think people are just like, fuck it, whatever happens now.
Yeah, I think most of that argument is on Facebook right now. Outside of that, it's and even there, it's kind of become more passive aggressive. Like where people are wearing masks, it's just like, yeah, all right, cool, we're doing this, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I guess where you're not, it's like, fuck it, we're not, whatever.
I mean, like there was a while, like even when it was really bad, like if I walked into a gun store, I didn't wear a mask. So it's like,
well, I don't think you're allowed to wear a mask in a gun store anyway. Like, doesn't that get you shot?
Before COVID, yeah. But now it's like, and like there's one of the local stores here, like I put a mask on, like they already know who I am. Like,
yeah.
But I mean, and it's the thing is like no one gives a shit. Like I haven't really like had anyone be like, what the fuck? Like, why are you wearing a mask? Like, what are you afraid of it? And like, get in my face. Like, nobody's gotten in my face or like.
Yeah, I think that's also an internet thing. I don't think anybody said that shit in real life.
Not in Georgia. Well, at least not around me. But like, I've seen stuff where like California and New York, it's the opposite. That if you're the guy not wearing a mask, like people are berating you and like kicking you out of stores and shit.
You know, oddly enough, I hear that that's what's going on in Texas too. I have a buddy.
Austin, maybe.
Say what?
Like in Austin, like
no,
like
Houston.
Wow.
Like I know someone. You might know her too, Diana. But her mom's got I think Alzheimer's, and she was taking her out to the store, and her mom's like 70 something, takes her mask off because she doesn't know who she is. And then like people are screaming at this 80-year-old woman for not wearing a mask. It's like, dude, look, she doesn't know where she is. She just wants some fucking apples. Leave her the fuck alone. Like if somebody sneezes, she's going to be the one that dies anyway. Just fuck off. Let her be.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to make of the whole thing. Like my wife had it and we were scared because, we were kind of thinking she was one of those like immune compromised kind of people where if she had it, like it could be real bad.
Yeah.
She was in the bed for a couple days, lost scent, taste, fever, headache. But well, the test we did on base was bullshit. Because every test I've heard about, they're like, they're going to stick this thing into your brain, hold it there for 15 seconds, take it out, then do the other side. And for her, we like drove past medical. They were just like, whoop, in, out, done. Huh. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're negative. It's like, I mean, I'm looking at the list of symptoms and it's like, we're hitting everything.
Yeah.
And
wait, what about the toe? Did she get the toe thing?
I don't think so.
There's this thing called COVID toe. Apparently it's not super prevalent, but it's enough to where they put it on the list, kind of like dying in a car accident is COVID related now. But apparently there's this thing called COVID toe where your toes kind of look like they have gangrene, but they don't get gangrene or fall off. They just turn green and nasty for a couple days.
No, didn't hear. I don't think she had anything like that.
No. Yeah, no. My wife's toes were all fucked up. Because she was like, she was freaking out thinking she had COVID. Ended up not being that. Because I was like, hey, so are you sure it wasn't the dog just kicking the shit out of your feet? She's like, yeah, it might have been that.
Yeah, but like, I mean, we're like 99% sure she had it.
Yeah,
and then I didn't have anything. Like we didn't distance from each other. We didn't do anything, and I had nothing. It was like I had a little headache one day. I was like, I probably wasn't drinking enough water.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear a lot of people. It's just barely a cold, but then like if you have something else, it'll take whatever that something else is, and then fuck up with that. Yeah. Kind of like how like AIDS has never killed anybody. Like you get it, and then like you fucking stub your toe and die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, we have people like one of her coworkers, I think their dad died.
That sucks.
From COVID, and like, it's like it's bad, but like it's weird how it's not, and I remember early on, they're like, "Oh, type A, if you have, type A blood, like, oh, you're fucked." Like, yeah, I'm A positive. I don't get shit.
Yeah, no, fucking they said the opposite side of that though is that apparently it doesn't do well with nicotine, and that's why nobody in France was getting hit with COVID. It was like, yeah, they all had COVID, but they smoked it out of their system, and it's like, wait a minute. So if you wanted to stop smoking, right now is not the time to do it.
I thought they were saying that you were more at risk if you smoked.
No. Apparently, nicotine fucking kills it, or that's what France was saying a couple months ago.
It's eggs and cancer all over again.
Yeah. So hey, since we're on that, fucking Matt wants to know what you're smoking.
This is, I don't remember exactly. Cuban Montecristo. I want to say a number 4.
Okay.
I've had this thing for so long, I don't remember which ones I have. I think it was a number 4, and I think my other ones might be a 10. But kind of smaller gauge, 5-inch maybe.
All right. You get a nice humidor setup then?
I use Tupperware.
Hey, man, fucking whatever works.
I went crazy. Okay, so by the way, it's all your fault.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I want to say it was your birthday or maybe Doc's birthday.
Uh-huh.
You made me smoke a cigar, and then I got hooked.
I'm gonna say it was my birthday because, like, my birthday is the day after the Marine Corps birthday, so like that whole weekend's just a, fuck ton of let's get at it.
It could have been, but it's California, so I don't remember like weather.
Yeah, no, it got cold for a couple weeks in January, and by cold I mean like it rained twice.
Yeah. But yeah, I picked this one up in Germany. Along with
for a minute.
So I started out like smoking every day, then maybe like a couple times a week, and now it's like maybe a couple times a year.
Oh, okay. So
like I've got a stockpile that I've been sitting on for a while. So
fair enough.
Yeah, but I bought some cheap humidors.
Yeah,
and they were literally falling apart on me. So I think I did some research, and someone's like, "You just use Tupperware. Like, you don't need the cedar. Keeping the humidity is more important."
Yeah.
So I think when I was in Sudan, I just ordered some like Tupperware with like a gasket on it, and that thing holds humidity. Like it doesn't seep at all.
So you don't have to put the little packets in it or anything?
I have some in there, but honestly, I recharge them or whatever you want to say, like maybe once or twice a year.
Oh, that ain't bad.
Yeah, it's great.
No, like I say what?
I want to build a humidor. Like I've had plans in my head of like a sick humidor I want to build, but I'm not there with my woodworking.
No. Yeah, no, I have one humidor. It's that little box thing. I got it as a going away gift at Division, and I use it to keep those like prostitute playing cards you get in Las Vegas in. I collected them like Pokemon cards and just throw them in there because I don't have anything fucking else to put in it.
You're walking down the street and they're just like packing them.
Oh yeah, dude. No, and then you like trade with your buddies because you want one to eat.
They're like handing them out to like 10-year-olds that walk by.
Dude, fucking I don't remember who it was. I think it was my buddy Steve. I might be wrong about that though. But he was saying he was in Vegas and he got like a fucking stack of them, didn't even want them, and then he like got back to the hotel and like gave them to his grandkid who was like 14. He's like, "Have fun, kid."
Oh.
That's just wild. That's kind of wild that they're allowed to do that though, too. Hey, dude, here's some fucking porno. Thanks.
Yeah. But also, like, how busy do those girls get?
I don't know. I mean, because think about it though. Like, if you hand out 100 of those, at least one person's gonna call. At least.
Yeah, but they've got stacks of those things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's never that girl handing them out too, though. It's like
it's like some random like. Usually, the ones I saw was typically like migrant workers, and it's just like, all right, like yeah, probably
So what that really is you call that number. There's some chick there that speaks well enough English to get you to wherever you're going to need to go. You show up to that hotel room, and then you wake up a couple hours later in the bathtub covered in ice and your sides hurt.
So I did know a guy, and I don't even remember his fucking name. I knew a guy in Hawaii who, not quite that bad, but he was definitely like robbed by a hooker in Hawaii.
Well, I mean, I guess that's worse than having your kidneys cut out.
Yeah. Like, well, yeah, what do you expect?
Well, yeah, well, I think it's funny though, because like Hawaii is also a place where it's like, don't go away from the fucking tourist destinations if you're not a fucking local.
Bro, it's one street over. Like, I mean, that's so what we used to do. That was my first duty station.
Yeah.
And they did it to me. What we used to do anytime we got someone in, and for a long time we were all boots. Like it was just Dinfos grads, like one after another, which was weird because we were like way up their headquarters. And like, why the fuck are we sending PFCs and privates out there? But we'd get someone in, we'd keep them up, we'd take them down Waikiki and keep them up till like 2 a.m. And I mean, that's an 8-hour difference from Maryland.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're instantly shocked into the time zone.
Yeah.
Like, it just works.
Yeah, no, you got to stay up and fucking sit off because like it takes a day or two to get into, I guess, your internal clock reset.
Yeah. But I mean, like, yeah, you go one street off of the main drag through Waikiki, and I mean, there's like girls just hanging out wearing clear heels, asking if you want to party.
Well, I mean, do you want to party?
Like, I mean, they told me right away. It's like, yeah, clear heels, hooker. Like, all right.
Hey, baby, you got girlfriend Hawaii?
It's like I guess they have a uniform, but good for them.
Well, as long as it's standardized and identifiable, that's part of the cohesion of any unit. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. My understanding, it was it's a lot of, well, I guess for most it would be desperation, but it's like, Hawaii's not a cheap place to live.
No, it's not. Like
it's a place where a lot of people want to go and live without realizing that it's not a cheap place to live.
No. Yeah, no, if you want like a nice place to live that's cheap, and by nice I mean like the weather's okay, like I think the best you're gonna get's Florida.
I'm not going back to Florida.
No, but hear me out on this. If you want like tropical weather, you want to stay inside of the United States, you got like nice warm humid air, Hawaii's out. Florida's like there, but then like as much shit as you want to say about Florida, it's not Louisiana, Mississippi, or Alabama.
I don't know. I mean, my experience was living in Miami, well, around Miami. Man, that was. I am honestly surprised I got my car out of there okay. Like, I lived outside of DC for about a year and a half, maybe a little less, and I didn't think it could get worse than DC drivers until I got to Miami.
Yeah, no, DC's fucking shit. Like everybody that says that Los Angeles has the worst fucking traffic on the planet, nah, dude.
No, but I mean, like Miami. I mean, it would take me on a good day. It could take me 20 minutes to get to work.
Oh, bad.
Average day, it was 45 minutes to an hour.
Nah, dude, and like the worst is being stationed in fucking Quantico because like on top of all the Quantico, but there's 2 exits off that base. One goes to 95 north, the other one goes to 95 south. And even though you're 15 miles away from Washington D.C., it's an hour drive up there.
Dude, there's just something about Quantico, man. Like there's just always traffic right there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's because yeah, a lot of people do now live in D.C., but traditionally people didn't live in D.C. They'd live in Virginia or Maryland and then commute up.
Yeah.
They're used to that. And then like that, there's still a lot of that. Like there are people living in DC now, but there's still all those other assholes that are fucking driving up from fucking Fredericksburg every fucking day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so when I got out, what, November 2015.
Yeah.
I think I went back to my parents' house in Maryland for like 2 weeks, and my girlfriend, girlfriend at the time, was living in Arlington.
I'm sorry.
Wow, it was great.
Really?
So when we met, she was with the State Department.
Okay.
So she was back going to language school, and so it was like government provided housing, apartment. Like, all right. And then she ended up getting an offer to go back into the Air Force. It was like, yeah, that's probably better than where they were going to send her for the State Department.
All right.
So we ended up having to go get our own apartment, which was fucking awesome. I miss that place.
Yeah.
Like that's one of those, like, I should have been out smoking more because we had a balcony on the 15th floor.
And you just look over everything.
Yeah. I mean, I could see the Pentagon from our apartment. Like, if this was me sitting on my, like the Pentagon would have been like right there.
Huh.
Like 1,000 yards away.
Nice.
Yeah, it was awesome. But she was working at Andrews. She was working in Maryland. And it's like, yeah, we're not moving to Maryland.
Yeah, no.
We're not going to live in DC. Like Virginia was okay.
I don't mind Virginia outside of what I would designate as the DC suburbs. So Fredericksburg and South is all right. But, and I'm sure you know this for the rest of it, but their taxes there are so fucking repugnant. It's like, no, I'm never fucking moving back to that state just for fucking that.
Maryland, I think Maryland was worse.
Well, yeah, between the two.
Avoid from Maryland like every year, and Virginia was not good. But Arlington was also more progressive, I guess. It was more liberal.
Okay.
So like, I was, when I got out, they were like, hey, you've been paying your taxes, get out, go on unemployment, enjoy it, get some of your money back. I was like, all right, cool. But I was still a Maryland resident, and I don't know if every state's like this, but Maryland's unemployment is predicated on you have to be applying for jobs. You can't be like, oh, I don't have a job, money.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. Like, they give you a little book, like you have to apply. It's like 2 jobs a week, and you have to have contact information because someone's going to call you and ask and be like, where did you apply? Who did you talk to? And what's the status?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, fuck. I guess I got to go try to get a job. I got hired at the second place I went to.
So fuck you.
Yeah. But it was at a gun store. So it was like, all right. So that was kind of cool. Like, that was eye opening. You get out of the military and think like, oh, I'm a fucking Marine. Like, I know shit about guns.
Yeah. No.
No.
Well, how so? Elaborate.
Like, oh my God.
Regale me with this tale.
So, like, the first place I went to was a super cool, like hipster gun shop. And
wait, did you say hipster gun shop?
Yes.
Okay.
Hipster gun shop with like a coffee shop. And
I don't want to go here.
Yeah, like it was super, like they were super cool, but they were also getting abused. Like, because they were trying to be like, we're cool, we're all buddies, we're all friends, we're friendly. So all the guns are just out. And I overheard the owner saying, it's like, man, I am buying so many magazines because people are just walking off with magazines. Like, yeah, people in general suck, so that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So it sounds like, look, man, like, I'll sell guns, I'll clean guns, I'll do whatever. Like, I want to work in a gun shop. Like, I want to get into the industry. I want to figure out what it's like.
Yeah.
And he's like, cool. Here you go. And he like hands me a Mosin, and I'm looking at it like, oh fuck, I don't know how to take this thing apart.
No.
Like, I never played with a Mose. Like at that time, it's like I never played with this. I don't. I'm like, oh goddamn! Like I got to go home and do some research. And I ended up getting hired at the second store, which was not quite the same, but it was still like a friendly store. It was a small place, brick and mortar. Young couple that owned it. I think like they were like we're the same age.
Oh.
And the boss, like he was a former Marine too, so he loved that on my resume. Another guy that worked there was former Marine, also a former MSG.
Nice.
So that was small world situation there. Like we knew a lot of the same people. We hated a lot of the same people.
Isn't that funny how that works? Like there's a guy, I don't know if you actually you're not on Instagram, are you?
No.
No, there's a guy I follow on there called what is it, Psyop Troll, and all he does is fucking make fun of McKayak up in Quantico. And I talk to him sometimes and I'm like, hey dude, you know these people? It's like, I know this guy and he's a cocksucker. I'm like, oh yes, he is. Don't know these guys, but I hear that they're giant assholes. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Some things didn't change.
Well, I mean, so at this other place, like they were like, hey, if no one's in the store, just hop on YouTube, find, SIG P229 disassembly.
Yeah.
Take one out of the cabinet, take it apart, put it back together. All right, cool. And I learned like so much more just doing that.
Yeah.
And like eventually, like, I earned their trust. He was like, all right, you're not completely retarded. So I did, cleanings, site installations, like minor gunsmithing type stuff.
Like armory level.
Yeah, but yeah, armorer is a better term. So that was cool. And they were great, like, great place to work. Made some really good friends there, and then we moved to Florida, and I think I fucked off for like 6 months before I was like, I need income again.
Yeah.
So it was like man, Homestead's a special place. It's like I don't feel safe here, so I ended up having to go like closer up into Miami.
Yeah.
And walked into a gun shop and I was like, hey, you guys hiring? Like, yeah, fill this out. Again, not the general manager, but like the head manager was former Marine. He was like, yeah, fuck yeah, like, hire another Marine. Like, yeah, this is gonna be awesome because it was all Army vets there.
Oh, nice. So like get more of the family and bring in the retarded cousin.
And then and like one Navy dude that was kind of, I don't know, like first time I met him, he's like, oh yeah, I worked in a ship store.
Cool. That's not a real job. That's a FAP, but all right.
Like, no, you didn't. I think he was SWIC.
Oh.
Like not like maybe Riverine, like one of those like he does some stuff. And I was like, cool, whatever.
Like not super cool guy stuff, but enough to where it's like, I don't want you to ask me any stupid questions. I was a cook. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Which then was fun when, you work at a gun store, you're going to get stolen valor guys come in.
Mm.
It's just going to happen. And
dude, how does how does that conversation go where it's like, all right, I know that you weren't a fucking Ranger SEAL sniper, but I also know you're about to drop $5,000. Do I just like eat this conversation?
Kind of.
Okay.
So we had one dude. I mean, he was the right age.
Yeah.
But came in with the green jacket, the hat, the backpack, everything said Special Forces on it. And I want to say our first interaction with him was he was trying to sell a Kimber.
Okay.
And he wanted to sell it at retail. And I was like, no, dude. Like, we have a case full of Kimbers. Like,
yeah,
we're not selling your used Kimber at the same price as a new one. Q, I know what I got. I was Special Forces. I was SF. Blah blah blah. And then, like one of the Army Ranger guys is like, "Oh, really? Where were you stationed?" like, what battalion or whatever the fuck they call it, what regiment were you with? And it was like, no, dude, like holes just all through the story. And he came, and the guy, like, every time he came in was like SF shit, and we just started calling him SF. And I was like, that is this dude's whole identity.
That's unfortunate.
But and it's one of those things, like, I have met so many scout snipers from Vietnam, probably far more than actual like numbers exist. And like, dude, I don't give a shit if you were a cook. Like,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, like
And the other thing is, like, fucking say, I'm strange fucking asshole, whoever, and I convince you that I'm like Ranger, DevGru, SEAL, Delta, fire mechanic, door gunner, right?
Yeah.
After this conversation we have, what the fuck do you care once I walk out the door? You're gonna go tell your family, dude, guess who I fucking met today?
Yeah. Like, dude, no one gives a shit.
Yeah. Especially people that were in the military. It's like, oh, cool.
But, and the thing is, like, the guys who do that stuff, they don't talk about it. Like, they don't.
Yeah, no, they were all cooks.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, my brother-in-law does some, I think he's a translator, but all right, cool.
Yeah.
Dude, you don't want to talk about it? I get it. Fine. But, yeah, like, I found this like random Marine Corps and Seabees memorial up in Buffalo.
Really? That's a weird place for it. Why was it there?
I don't know. It's not too far from Niagara, and I think, like, we were driving to the hotel and I was like, that's a big ass EGA. Like, pull over and stop and see what this is all about. And there's like, some old guy there, and it's like, oh yeah, were you Marines? Like, yeah, scout sniper in Vietnam. Cool.
Yeah, dude. No, it's weird because some of those memorials, like, you have no idea why the fuck they're there, but it's like, all right, cool, it's here, got it. But there's one around here. It's like one of those big, what do you call it, an obelisk? Like one of those ones, and it's just like covered in fucking etched names, right? And I'm wondering, like, and it's dedicated to a certain army regiment from World War I, right? And it's like, oh, all the fallen of this regiment in World War I. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. It's kind of weird that it's all here. And this town, by the way, has like a population of maybe 1,000, maybe. And there's like 800 names on this fucking thing. I'm like, okay, so what the fuck is this guy's name? That's this town. This guy's name. That's this town. How the fuck did this many people go to this same fucking unit and all get fucking? There's not this many people in this town now that died in one unit in World War I. Not saying anything negative about it. It's just like, it doesn't make sense to me. It's like, did everybody fucking leave in 1920? Like,
no, they all died in the war.
Dude, I fucking guess. I mean, I thought after the Civil War they started sending people to different units specifically so that didn't happen.
So there's a really cool one in Buffalo. Yeah, it's in Buffalo. There's a spot where there's like a bunch of ships, maybe a submarine, and I mean it's just a huge like military memorial
thing
area. But one of the ships was named after, it was like 3 or 4 brothers that were all stationed on the same ship, and they all died. And they're the reason that they split family up.
Yeah, that's also the inspiration for fucking Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, because there was like, they were like, oh yeah, so many people from this family died. Like, no one from your family can go to war anymore.
Yeah.
But apparently it was like I want to say Sullivan.
That sounds right, but
yeah, but it was like apparently like all of them died on the same boat, and they're like, oh yeah, that was a mistake. We can't do that.
Our bad, guys.
Yeah. But it's kind of cool. It's one of those like self-guided tour. You get to like walk around the boat, and they have like a path that you go, and you get down into, deep into one of these fucking boats, and like now there's like this huge museum room, and you're like, oh, what the fuck? This is kind of cool.
Yeah, no, like I'm kind of like that, and then also on the opposite end. So like if I'm in a museum, like, and if you work at the museum, leave me the fuck alone. Let me stare at shit. But if it's not a museum, say it's like a ship, like the ones in San Diego, or like a monument or something, dude, fucking, I go full fucking tourist. Fucking, you tell me everything you know about this shit right now, and be entertaining while you're at it.
The
Like Gettysburg, I get in on that. Like I always go on like at least one tour while I'm up there. The ghost tours are fun depending on who you get. Like every once in a while, you get somebody that's like super excited about what the fuck happened, and it's like, dude, come on, man, rub that energy off. Let's go.
Gettysburg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, fuck you. Air conditioner off. So I grew up 45-ish minutes west of Baltimore.
Yeah.
I went to Gettysburg so many fucking times. And when we went with like at Dinfo's,
yeah,
I was like, oh God. Like, so I went through, what was it, BSP, basic still photography.
Yeah.
And the teachers were like, oh yeah, we're going to go down to Ellicott City and it's going to be awesome. Or no, where did we go? I think we might have gone to Annapolis. I don't fucking remember. One of the other classes, we went to Ellicott City, and I was like, no, that town sucks. Like, there ain't shit. Like, dude, it's Monday. It's like half the town's closed. I'm like, no, this is going to be awesome. We're going to go, and there's going to be so much to take pictures of. I'm like, no, half the town's fucking closed.
Yeah, no, we went to Ellicott when I went back for a video, and it was like, all right, so we have all day to figure something out. I'm going to go talk to this barista and have her tell me about what they're doing making this coffee right here and stretch that into a fucking half-hour video.
So fun story like that. So I want to say that was when I went for, what was it? Intermediate photojournalism.
Mm-hmm.
Because island fever was a real thing, and I got sick of being in Hawaii. So I was like, hey, Master Guns, there's openings in this class at Dinfo's. Send me. Like, I want to go learn some shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not a writer. Like, I bombed like all the writing assignments in that class. It's like, I'm not PAO. Like, I don't know how to write a fucking news story.
Yeah.
Well,
it's funny though, because like most of the PAO dudes, they don't know how to write a story either. They take a story that was already fucking published and they change the names and the quotes. Especially if it's like a yearly event. They just take last year's new name, new quote, boom.
Yeah.
The whatever unit performed this, and that at this training exercise alongside our partners, insert country X.
Yeah. Well,
make sure to use the word bilateral like 14 times.
So we go to Ellicott City. Literally, I mean, the businesses are so slow on Mondays that most of them just don't open.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, it's, Old Town Ellicott City. It's a cool little town. It got destroyed a few years ago because like the floods came through and just wrecked the place. But we're walking around, and it's a mixed service class. We had this like tiny little Coast Guardsman girl, fucking adorable, like super high pitched voice, like sweetest girl ever. She was super nice.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing I hated about those classes is like, it's one thing if like I'm in Afghanistan, the dudes there know I'm here to take pictures of you. Like,
yeah,
that barrier's been broken. I'm walking around town with a big ass camera. Like, it's fucking weird. I don't want to take pictures of strangers.
Yeah.
Like, that's like one of my biggest like social anxiety things. Like, I don't want to fucking deal with that. So this girl asked, some random girl walking down the street, like, hey, can I take pictures of you? And she's like, yeah, sure, whatever. So the girl like poses up, does a couple poses, and like, wow, like, hey, you're really good at that. Like, oh yeah, I'm a model for Suicide Girls.
All right.
What the fuck?
What the fuck are you doing in Ellicott City on a fucking Monday morning?
Exactly.
We got here at 7.
Yeah.
Why are you awake right now?
Dude, that coffee's amazing.
Dude, I fucking guess. I will say, though, that there is a coffee shop in Ellicott City. It's right across the street from this like vintage toy store.
Yeah.
By the bridge.
Yeah.
They
Like all the way down the hill.
Yeah, they do have really good coffee.
Yeah, they do. And there's a really nice furniture store there that sells some fantastic looking stuff, but it's like, I mean, it's just one of those like old towns where shit's just dead. Like,
yeah.
It's
one of those towns where at the height of the week, there's a bunch of 50-year-old couples walking down the street at like 6 p.m. on a Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Or, people going to the antique mall.
I know there's an antique mall there.
Yeah, it's like a couple roads up. Huh. It's a little out of the way. I all the times I've been there, I only went there once. So I just didn't know it was there. I'm like, all right.
Dude, don't you hate that though? Like maybe not necessarily that, but like when you're living somewhere or even visiting somewhere for an extended period of time and you have nothing to fucking do, and then like 3 days before you leave, you find a place that you could spend the entire fucking time at, and it's like, why the fuck nobody tell me about this when I showed up on Monday?
Yeah. That was me in Hawaii for 3 years and not starting scuba diving until I was like the last month I was there.
Mm.
And I was like, I could have been doing this the whole fucking time.
Yeah. Dude, at that point, though, it's like, why even fucking bother? It's like, dude, I'm packing my DMO already got my shit.
No. Because I was an idiot and I turned down my household goods shipment.
You dumb fuck.
Yes.
Why would you do that?
Because I was like, man, I live in the barracks. I don't have that much shit.
Wrong.
So I started packing. I was like, oh, goddamn.
Like, to mail it back yourself.
Yeah. Oh, no. I had 3 or 4 sea bags that were like 100 pounds each. The dumbest piece of luggage I ever bought. I mean, the thing is fucking huge, but it weighs 15 pounds by itself.
Ugh.
Yeah. So that thing was packed. Like, I left a good amount of shit in my barracks room. Just left the door open. Was like, have at it, guys. Like, whatever you want. But yeah. And then I did it again when I went MSG.
Yeah, no, when I left Pendleton, I had a bunch of shit like that. And I don't know why I had it in my head, but I thought that since I was in the barracks, I didn't rate DMO. I think somebody might have told me that. So I packed up all my shit and I put it in that blue Jeep I had. And in that blue Jeep, I mean, I packed the bottom of it, and then I put a blue tarp down, and then I put the rest of that shit on top of the tarp, and then wrapped it up and just bungee corded it the fuck down.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like doing this the whole way to fucking.
You drove to fucking Quantico?
I drove to Florida, then I drove to Cleveland, then I drove to Quantico like that.
Oh my God.
Dude, I was pissed off because like I went to go see my dad, right? Because he was living in Ohio. And that Jeep, didn't have a fucking top on it, just had that little like cloth bikini thing. And this was between Christmas and New Year. And I was freezing my fucking dick off. Oh. And I was like an hour away from my dad's house, so I couldn't justify getting in a hotel. So I went to fucking McDonald's. It's like 2:00 in the morning, right? And I get like $50 worth of fucking cheeseburgers. And I just like shoved them in my fucking clothes, hoping that they'd warm me up. Didn't work. And got to my dad's house fucking with hypothermia. Like go to bed. And just like lie there shivering for 4 hours until my body decided it wanted to start making body heat again. But no, I was pissed the next morning though, because I had a bunch of soda cans from Kuwait, like the weird size ones, because I was like, dude, these are cool. Fucking let me grab them. But all in the cold, they all expanded and blew up. And I was like, man, god damn it, those were neat.
Yeah. Yeah, I had some cool ones from when I went to Thailand, but I don't know. No fucking clue what happened to those. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like when I got out, I had to fly in from Greece to Lejeune.
It's Lejeune. It's Lejeune. His grandkid was in fucking 5th Marines, and he pronounces it Lejeune. All right?
Yeah.
Man, pronounces it Lejeune. It's Lejeune. You can take that Lejeune and fuck else.
I was at Marfor Pack. I was out in Hawaii when like the family came around, was like doing the tour to tell people that you're saying the name wrong. I was like, man, it's too late.
Yeah.
It's like you You might as well try to convert us to metric while you're at it. Like, this shit's not happening.
Dude, my favorite thing about that though is I'm sure you've seen that meme where it's like, oh yeah, they tried to convert America to metric. The only thing they changed to metric was fucking ammunition.
Yeah. And yeah, so like I had to fly from Greece to fucking Lejeune to do all my checkout. And one of the great things, at least with MSGs, is there is tons of information. There was a great Facebook page that I ended up getting kicked off of. It was a troll page, and I got kicked off for trolling.
How do you get kicked off a troll page?
Because I called the admin a pussy, or I called him on some bullshit, and he kicked me for that. It was a hard page to get into. But
was it like you had to like show your resume of fucking like Facebook bans to like get in? Like
yeah, like you had to be invited by someone who was already in the group.
Oh.
And like vetting was rough. But there was a lot of conversations that shouldn't have been happening, kind of thing. But
really on a private group on Facebook? No.
A military private group on Facebook.
No.
Yeah. But there was great information. It's like, hey, this is the sequence. You need to hit everything because you only get like, if you're lucky, 3 weeks to do all the out processing stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that. It's like, dude, there's no like bus to go around Lejeune. Like, there's nothing to go from like this fucking barracks to this like school building where you got to do your taps or whatever the fuck they call it now. So I was like, God damn, like I need my fucking car. My car was in Maryland, and I was like, shit. Well, I had my parents meet me at the airport in DC. So MSG was an interesting thing. Like, they basically treated you like a child. Like, I showed up as a freshly promoted sergeant and felt like I was a recruit again.
Fun. Yeah.
So there's like, and there's curfews, there's all this shit, and it's basically a lot of like, hey, can I go take a piss break? Like, you have to ask permission to do everything. And so I had this like fucking terror of like, all right, I'm flying in, I'm going to get in, rent a car, go to the base, check in, get like 2 hours of sleep, go back to the airport, fly to DC, pick up my car, and then drive it down. And I did it on a weekend. Yeah. But they were like, oh, you have to be at this like check-in thing at noon. I was like,
okay.
What happens if I don't? I don't know. Yeah, nothing fucking happened.
Yeah.
But I'm like flying down 95, just like, afraid some fucking sergeant major is going to call me up. Like,
yeah.
And, it's like,
where you
at? Hindsight now, it's like, whatever, dude, like, fuck off. But at the time, it was like, oh my God, no. Like, and I was like so close to my third good cookie.
Oh,
fuck that up.
Dude, no, fucking, I remember, I was driving, I think I was going down to Florida. Yeah, I was driving down to Florida from Fort Bragg, and I was in that Corvette, and the Corvette, like, it had that target top, so if you wanted to take the top off, you had to put it in the trunk, and if that was in the trunk, you couldn't have anything else in the trunk. And it was like I was bouncing around from shit, so like I had all my gear, I had all my SIF gear in the passenger seat, right?
Oh.
So fucking speed down the fucking road, and this fucking I see the, like, how like cops hang out in the fucking fire breaks between woods between the fucking lanes. I'm speeding. I fucking look over and I see like 4 fucking cops. I'm like, oh, that's fun. Look forward, lights come out. I'm going 140 miles an hour. I'm like, oh God, I don't even know if he's coming after me. I'm just gonna fucking pull the fuck over. Dude comes out pissed off as fuck, right? He's like, you know how fast you're going? I'm like, yes, sir. Here's all my stuff. Grabs my stuff, looks at me, looks at my SIF gear, looks at me, looks at my SIF gear, looks at my shit, looks at me again. I see his fucking eel globe and anchor tattoo, and he's like, I caught you going 69 miles an hour. That's 4 miles an hour to the speed. I'm like, yep. Shit, man.
Yeah.
And he comes back, he's like, all right, so It's gonna be a pretty severe ticket for this. It's gonna be $80. Don't use speed around here. We're like, thank you very much, officer, for the warrant or for the. I'm out.
Yeah, I got pulled over somewhere near Bakersfield. I had a buddy who was stationed, like a high school buddy who was stationed up at Lemoore Naval Air Base. A naval air base. It's like in the middle of fucking nowhere, California.
Well, I mean, like El Centro is a naval air base, and that's fucking on the border with, I don't know, Arizona or Nevada or some shit.
Yeah. Well, I went to go see him. Then I went to Monterey to go see a buddy who was going to the language school.
Dude, that's a drive.
Yeah.
And there's nothing out there.
This was like a 96, I think. And so I'm driving back, and it's like 2-lane road, somewhere coming from like the coast to the 5, I think was the main road that goes through California.
Yeah, and this is while you're in Pendleton?
Yeah. So coming across like some wide open area, there's nobody on the road. I'm in the Beamer, top down. I'm like, let's see what we can do.
Was it that blue one?
Yeah.
Was that the one you let Singlap fucking borrow?
Unfortunately, yes.
I have a story about that car when you're done.
Yeah. It's probably why I'm no longer friends with him.
Oh, really? Oh.
Look, man, if he's watching, like, cool dude. But you put 1,000 miles on my car in 3 months when I asked you to put maybe a couple hundred. I'm sorry, like I'm done. That's an immediate violation of my trust, and yeah. But so I hit like 150 with the top down.
Yeah.
On this road, and then I get on the 5, and I'm calculating. I'm like, all right, I have this many 100 miles to go. Every mile an hour means I'm going to get this many minutes faster. I still got to cut my hair when I get back. Still got to do this. Still got to do that. I might have still been with 1.5 at the time. I don't remember. But yeah, I ended up getting pulled over. I think he said like 91. And I was like, no, I was only doing 88. It's like, it's a Back to the Future thing. I was only doing 88. Like, cop didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, man. It was like a $300 ticket. And I was also terrified because I was like, man, this was right before I went to MSG. I was like, dude, if this fucks with my security clearance, like, they kick people out for nothing in that school.
Yeah.
And
then they send you somewhere else on that fucking base, and half the time they're already overstaffed, so have fun being a fucking gate guard.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, that's one of those, like, it's always the fuck-ups that are working company office.
Yeah.
The ones who have keys to your fucking barracks room while you're at work. Like, no one's thought this through.
No.
So, like, all the fuck-ups on MSG got sent back to headquarters. And it's like, no wonder it takes so fucking long to get my passport processed. Fucking shit goes missing all the time.
Yeah, dude, no, and like that place is fucking retarded too, because like, what is it? So when I was at Quantico, there's a different shop that like is in the combat camera fucking section, platoon shop, whatever the fuck it is. But like there's like no affiliation between them. It's just like the mass sergeants there is responsible for these fucking people, and they do a completely fucking different thing. One of those dudes got a fucking DUI, and everybody in combat camera got put on fucking barracks restriction for like like 2 months. And it was like no paperwork, just like, hey, listen, we're having a fucking formation every night and we're seeing everybody fucking here. And it's like, just NJP that dude. Leave me the fuck alone. Can I request mass over this? No. Okay. Can I talk to your boss and request mass over this? Yeah, he doesn't care. Okay, all right, fuck it.
Yeah. I don't miss it. I don't miss that.
Mm-mm.
I miss certain things.
I miss the clowns. I do not miss the circus.
Yeah. It's like people would ask me all the time, because I tell them like, yeah, I was combat camera for 6 years. I was MSG for 3 years.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, how was it? I'm like, it was equally as good as it was bad, and it was really fucking good.
Yeah.
Like there were times, I mean, like I got sent to Frankfurt, Germany. Fucking love it.
Yeah.
Like, I've been back twice because I love that city so much. And then I got sent to Sudan. And then I got stuck in Sudan. And then I got to go to Greece for like 6-ish months. And I was like, man, that was cool. Like 3 years overseas, getting paid really well.
Yeah.
And I pretty much just watched YouTube for 8 hours a day on post.
Nice.
Like, I wish I could go back to that. Like, not all the other bullshit that went along with it. But
yeah, can we do this without like staff NCOs or officers?
oh, dude, let me tell you. So Sudan was a very interesting place. I got lucky that I got my visa relatively quick. The visas are like the only thing Sudan has over the U.S.
How's that?
Like, because there's no trade between us. Like Sudan doesn't have anything to hold over the U.S. like sanctions or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if Sudan's like, oh, we're not going to export shit, we're going to be like,
it's like, all right, cool. I wasn't doing it anyway.
Yeah. So the visas are like their bargaining chip. So while I was there, it's like, I mean, it was almost a year before the next guy came in.
Yeah.
Because it took forever for visas to get processed. And it wasn't like, oh, there's a background check. It's like, no, they just don't do it. Like, it's just that.
See, I'm curious about that with like embassies and State Department shit, because it's like these are our people who are sending them here. They're not leaving the fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. It depends on where you're at.
Yeah.
Everywhere I was stationed, we lived on compound. So I mean, the house was fucking like right there, next to the embassy. But like, there's places like Berlin. I went to Berlin to do what the fuck do we call it? Like ball duty or something.
Yeah.
Basically, when they're having their ball, Marines from this place will come to here, stand post for those guys so that whole detachment can go and do their ball. And it's like, it was a cool thing. And
yeah, no, that's a really good trade-off, instead of just like, hey, we're gonna have the ball, fucking have fun, boots.
Yeah, it's like, hey, it sucks to be you. You're stuck on duty. Like,
yeah.
Which I think they ended up getting rid of. One of the new commanders that came in wasn't really big on the parties. Fucked a lot of detachments because that's how we made money. Like especially in Sudan, where like the embassies are the only place to get actual alcohol. And boy, did we have alcohol. But yeah, so like while I was in Sudan, we have semi-annual inspections.
Yeah.
And our command visits. So the command visits, like first sergeant and the CO come out, and it's kind of more of like a welfare check. Like they see how everyone's doing, maybe do some annual training, whatever.
Yeah.
And the semi-annual inspection is like a lieutenant or a captain comes out and is like, all right, bring out your binders. I'm going to make sure like all of your shit's in order, the way it's supposed to be. Your, supply inventory is good. The books are being done right. Like it sucks.
So you have like a good guy, almost morale check. And then like I'm sticking a finger up your ass.
Yeah.
Which is probably a good trade-off. Cause like as much as people don't like a finger in your ass, you also need to make sure your prostate's healthy.
Exactly. Well, for a while we just did it online. It's like scan everything, upload it to whatever this intranet, MSG website was. And the dude, my region for that part of Africa, our headquarters was down in South Africa.
Yeah.
So he just stays there, logs in, checks it. Maybe we do like a conference call. Someone got it in their fucking head that no, we need to do this face to face. Well, these guys can't get visas to Sudan because why the fuck are we going to give it to a guy who's going to come here like twice a year?
Right.
So they're like, all right, we're going to meet you in Ethiopia. So pack up all your shit, and one at a time, you're going to fly from Khartoum to Addis Ababa, fly in the morning. You're going to do your PT, whatever bullshit, because that's part of the inspection.
Yeah.
Then we're going to look at your books, and then we're going to do like a half-assed reaction drill, like, you know, a bomb threat or an active shooter or whatever.
Put on your bomb gear and fucking load up.
Yeah.
I would say that doesn't make any sense, but I mean, given the nature of the Marine Corps, and I can also speak confidently for the Navy on this. Can't speak for the Army or the Air Force, but if whatever you're doing is making sense, something's fucking wrong. Also, fucking Tommy, you have a good night. He was out there saying shit was bullshit, and Lodge.
Where are people chatting?
Huh?
Where are people chatting?
There should be like a comment thing on the fucking side, but
like on Facebook or.
So these guys are on YouTube, and
let me see if I can find this on YouTube then.
And what's up, Lodge? No, it should be like here in the window, man. Like it should be. There's a thing on the side. I don't know what it looks like for you, but like it should be on the right side.
There it is. I was in a private chat. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, there you go.
God damn.
So yeah, what's up, Lodge?
Lodge here. Hey,
you know Lodge?
Yeah. We went through. Shit, I don't even know if we went through the same course together. I think we were both fleet returnees. I think I was going through digital multimedia and he was going through something else. So yeah, I that's how I know Lodge.
Dude, no, he's an interesting character too, because like, you know, real cool to fucking talk to, like super fucking talented, but like I do worry though that like the next time there's like a false, not even an actual nuclear attack, but like a false one, it's like, hey, listen, the Russians accidentally got something wrong with the radar and almost launched their missiles. Like we go find Lodge out in the desert covered in leather with like a fucking machete and a machine gun, driving like a 72 fucking Mustang that's been lifted 3 feet. He's like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was intermediate. I think you were in intermediate photojournalism, and I was at digital multimedia. And but yeah, so
dude, Lodge was also like my closet therapist when I was in fucking Quantico.
Yeah,
because, like while I was there, like everybody was, because you know how like combat camera, like overall as an MOS, like you have like 2 platoons that matter, and the rest of the MOS is fucking pogues in a fucking shop. And Quantico was a giant pogues in the fucking shop. Yeah. And I'd have like a day of just like dealing with fucking, I'm going to use the term Marine, but fucking just pussies bitching about shit. And then like at night at the barracks, I'd go like, Lodge, open your fucking door. I need to talk. You're like, about what? I'm like, literally fucking anything besides your vagina hurting. So, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, so they, you know, someone had this idea like, hey, let's waste fucking money sending Marines flying out in the morning, flying back at night because it's too fucking hot in Sudan for planes to be operating during the day.
Which that's always something that bothered me too, like that. And then like if there's a storm and we can't fucking fly the birds, it's like, listen, I understand there's a fucking safety hazard. However, I'm in fucking Afghanistan and we're doing this operation and we can't have close air support because it's a little fucking windy out. Like, what would be going on if we were fighting like a pure fucking enemy where we were getting schwacked? Would you fly the birds, or is this because the pilot can't get the sand out of his fucking vagina?
Yeah.
And pick the bird up?
That happened to me. That happened to me on a patrol.
Yeah.
Like 100 yards outside of the patrol base, and they're like, man, this looks bad.
Yeah, red air. Everybody go back.
Like, hey, are we still good? They're like, yeah, you're fine. Keep pushing. Like 1,500, you know, like click and a half out, and they're like, oh, hey, bed down. We're red air. It's like, oh, god damn it. And then, who was it? Who was there was a kid back at Pendleton. Kind of younger guy. I think he grew up like Mormon or something.
Riddle?
Maybe.
Kajampa.
Yes, Kajampa.
Oh, no, so Kajampa wasn't Mormon. He was like Mennonite or some shit.
Okay. He gave me some of the best advice of bringing smoke and dip.
Yep.
Like regardless, this is all I like. I never smoke cigarettes. I don't dip.
But if you want to make friends with the fucking grunts, you bring
shit. That broke that ice so fucking fast.
Yeah.
Like that was the best
and me and Mackenzie taught him that, so you're welcome.
All right. But yeah, so that's where me having a fresh pack of smokes, fresh can of dip, I made friends. I mean, this was like halfway through the deployment, so like the guys who were friendly were already friendly.
Yeah.
But then everyone who laughed at me for always having Cliff Bars in my fucking chest rig, like, yeah. Now I have food when we're stuck out here for 5 fucking hours on what should have been like a 3-hour fucking patrol.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, suck it.
Dude, we used to fuck with Kajampa hard, man. Like we broke him into the fucking like or from his unsheltering. Because like that dude didn't know what a fucking burrito is when he got to the fleet. Like he was that fucking like it was like Amish Mennonite, and then he was like whatever the next one was, but he was still like 2 steps removed from like normal fucking human being.
Yeah. So we went through Dinfo's the first time, 2007. I went back. I went back for photojournalism 2009 and digital multimedia 2010, right before I came to Pendleton. And I think it was one of those two. Kajampa was there, and I remember like there was some female Marines like, "This kid's never seen an R-rated movie."
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit! Like, and you were allowed to go join the Marines?
Yeah, dude. No, like me and Mackenzie would torture the fuck out of that kid. It'd be like, well, because like A, like sheltered as fuck, but B, the dude was fucking like closet jacked. Like if he was like in a t-shirt and like jeans, you'd be like, all right, so scrawny fucking whatever. You know, like takes his shirt off and he like becomes fucking like Hollywood fucking Hulk Hogan. It's like, all right, so it's gonna take 2 of us to beat his ass, even though he's a fucking boot. But sure, got it. But we had this game down. It was like me, Mackenzie, him, Fabry, Sanglap, and like 2 other fucking people. But like if you were on that deck in the fucking barracks back in Castle fucking Grayskull, if you didn't have a cold alcoholic beverage within arm's reach, everyone else just kicked the shit out of you.
Speaking of those barracks, whatever happened to Bala?
So I know that he was homeless for a while in Oceanside after he got booted out.
Well, he got busted for what, B&E?
I think so, yeah. And then I heard through LeClaire that he's back wherever the fuck he came from, and he's got like a nice office job now and like a wife and kids and then like a small house. So, I mean, he's doing all right for himself.
Like, so...
I mean, I don't know if he's still a fucking idiot or not, but I mean, like,
they made us roommates for a little while until I pinned on Corporal, and I was like, nope, he's got this isn't gonna work. And then he went UA like a week later. But I mean, like, he seemed like a good kid, just as long as someone with bad influences didn't get a hold of him.
Yeah, that might have been a little bit of that too. Like, because I remember like he was doing like dumb boot ideal grunt shit, like stealing hand grenades and stuff, and it's like, dude, that's not a good idea.
Yeah. Well, that's what he got kicked off of his deployment.
Yeah,
because they were like, oh, hey, I need to go grab a camera battery. Oh, it's in your bag. And I'm like, what the fuck do you have a smoke grenade in here for?
Yeah, dude, no. And then Lodge just said, oh geez, Sanglap, dude shoots so loud you can shoot him in the dark.
Yeah. Yeah, Bala tried to fucking steal from me while I was his roommate.
I remember one time after PT, fucking we sent the fucking boots inside. This is like after I picked up Sergeant, and like the NCOs had a fucking chit chat or whatever. I go into fucking shower, change, come out, can't find my uniform. Bala's wearing it. Like, my name is Sergeant Rank and all. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? He's like, well, I couldn't find my Take it off now. Like, I made him get naked and fucking repro. Give me my shit back.
I mean, like, he straight up told me, he's like, look, if someone leaves an iPod lying around, I'm going to take it.
Yeah. He also had a fucking pack of Marlboro Reds fucking tattooed on his fucking arm. Like, come on.
But dude, like, there was like one night when we were roommates, I was like, I wanted to watch a movie. And I was like, I had a binder, like, one of those like little sleeve things of all my DVDs. Because when I left Hawaii, I didn't have space for all the cases and I had to throw it up. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I know I left it in this drawer. Like, what the fuck, man? I ended up jimmying open his secretary and found my DVD case in his fucking furniture. I was like, dude, we live together.
Yeah, like
I came back from some training thing. I think it was Steel Knight. And I was like, bro, why is my bed all jacked up? Like, I know I made my bed before I left.
Yeah.
You're fucking sleeping in my bed. Like, dude, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, no, that's fucking dumb. Although, like, I'm not saying that I'm innocent of fucking Barracks shenanigery, because, like, do you remember Boyce? So anyway, fucking this guy Boyce, fucking just as fucking dumb as fucking Bala. I
know Lob knows Boyce.
Wait, so he was a little bit more functional in the manner that, like, he could form a sentence, but besides that, not much. But I remember, like, he went out, like, with some of the fucking band chicks fucking one night, and me and LeClaire fucking jimmied into his fucking room, took everything out of all of his wall lockers, put it in a fucking pile, like, all of his shit, TV and fucking included, like, took everything out of his fridge, poured it on top of it, and then, like, put all his fucking, like, hygiene shit, like soap and shaving fucking cream on top of that, and then pissed on it, and then fucked off back to our fucking room. And then, like, 3 o'clock in the morning, fucking, we hear a bunch of screaming, and we're like, oh, what the fuck? And then, like, we don't pop our heads out, but, like, we, like, get close to the fucking door, and they're, like, screaming and crying and shit. And, like, a few minutes later, PMO shows up, right? Anyway, fucking PMO's fucking taking their statement, and we're like, oh, god damn it. Like, we're gonna get fucked for this. We're fucking screwed. Because, like, we're drunk and paranoid and don't know what the fuck is going on, you know?
Yeah.
And, I remember fucking the fucking, MP being like, so did you lock your barracks room when you left? And Boyce like, yes, Sergeant, we locked the barracks room when we left. He's like, well, apparently you fucking didn't. If you have a problem with what's going on, next time maybe call the company office, because if you can't secure your shit, that's not a fucking PMO problem. Fuck off. And he left, and I heard Boyce crying out there, and me and LeClaire were just like.
So I think I met Boyce at Dinfo's for one of the follow-on classes that I went to.
Yeah.
And when I got my orders to go from Hawaii to Pendleton, I think it was Reitzel.
Yeah, that fucking dude.
I think it was him or someone else, or maybe it was Lodge. Someone was like, oh, hey, Boyce is also PCSing, and I think he's going to Pendleton. And, like, I found his Facebook page, and I saw, like, that he was going to Pendleton. I almost cried. I was like, oh, damn it.
And that was back when, like, Facebook was strictly for fucking pictures of yourself and, like, what you're doing. Like, there was none of this, like, meme political bullshit. It was all
just the tip of the spear was. I remember just the tip of the spear and
effing boot.
Effing boot, yeah. Man, I remember when, like, Terminal Lance came out and people were like, "Oh my god, did you see did you see this comic?" And it's like, have you seen fucking effing boot? Have you seen just the tip? And, like, they're naming people. They're posting pictures of this fucking gunny who's a stripper. Like,
dude, I would do that shit like for safety briefs. Like, I'd be like, hey, listen, fucking, you guys know the rules. I'm not gonna fucking bore you. All I'm gonna say is if you do anything stupid, or don't do anything stupid, and if you do, don't get caught. If you do get caught, I'm gonna put you on fucking J-Tots. And then I didn't have any fucking problems with my fucking junior Marines that, like, weren't, like, more than fucking normal, because I mean, like, I don't know if you've if you met me in the fucking fleet, but yeah, I would absolutely put you on fucking JTOS for doing something fucking stupid.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I think I actually had that come up as a Facebook memory. One of the first months or so when I was in Germany, which, by the way, that building is fucking ungodly huge.
The Reichstag?
The it's not an embassy, it's a consulate in Frankfurt. Used to be like an old Nazi hospital.
Okay.
And then the Army Air Corps took it over. And then the State Department took it over at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, the building. I mean, it's headquarters for everyone. Like all kinds of State Department people in Germany. That's like even MSG. There's 4 region headquarters there, which means there's 4 COs, 4 sergeant majors, or no, just first.
Well, yeah, because like you got Germany there, you got UCOM, you also have AFRICOM there, and then isn't there like a separate Mediterranean fucking?
No, I mean those are kind of spread out a little bit, but a lot of the State Department.
I'm sorry, AFRICOM's in Stuttgart, right?
Yeah, Stuttgart. I think UCOM is too. My wife was there for a little bit.
Okay,
long time ago. But I had a Facebook memory come up of like, I thought like old Nazi hospital.
Yeah,
that place was fucking spooky at night.
Dude, I'd fucking imagine, dude, like all fucking military fucking shit that's more than fucking however the fuck old spooky at night. Fucking.
Oh, even in Marfor Pack.
Dude, no, like fucking the goddamn fucking division fucking combat camera fucking thing in Margarita was fucking weird.
Oh, yeah.
Shit. Dude, like I remember like fucking coming in there sometimes seeing boot prints on the fucking ceiling, and I'm like,
how much did you drink?
It's like, dude, I don't know if I'm being fucked with like because I'm a boot, but like my sergeant's fucking freaked out about this. So I think I should be freaked out about this. It's Monday morning. Why the fuck are there boot prints on the ceiling? Like,
yeah, but I had something. It's like I thought I just heard the haunting chuckling of Boyce down the hall. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that big fucking if.
But hey, you know what? Like, dude had pull with women. Like, I don't know how, but he had game. Like,
because I'm a Marine. Hey, check that out. I'm not gonna.
Female Marines.
No,
like good looking ones. I'm like, holy shit. Like, all right, whatever.
Oh, hey, fucking more power to you, man. Fucking
dumb ones.
Since we're on that, have you seen that movie Idiocracy?
We just watched it.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly why he has pull of fucking female Marines.
Yeah.
And see that's another thing. Like I was never big with fucking female Marines. Like I have a decent enough rogues gallery, I guess is the right word for that. Yeah. But what I would do is I would go to fucking Oceanside and I'd have my combat boots on, jeans, and like a red shirt that said 1775, and that like guaranteed I got laid. Just like dress like a fucking boot, act like a fucking boot, and then like chicks be like, I want Bach, give me that dick.
I'm pretty sure I was with you at a mall in Oceanside one time.
The Devil Dog Mall?
Maybe. And we're like not even looking like, I mean, you can't avoid the haircut and shave, but
yeah,
like not looking like boots, and like 2 chicks walk by and you're like, ooh, I'm Marine. Like fuck you.
Okay, so Lodge said, I'll never forget how Nichols had a hot girlfriend for the Marine Corps ball once. Okay, so Lodge, I need to hear that story. Also, fucking, let me tell you about this guy named Nichols, right? So this dude was like severe, low functioning, fucking autistic. Like, that's not a euphemism. Like, this guy had actual mental fucking problems, right?
Comcam?
Like, what?
It was Comcam?
Yeah, he's a Comcam guy.
I knew a few.
Yeah, no, like to the level to where like you'd go into his room to like check his shit for field day, and he'd have like he'd have 2 huge Tupperware like tote fucking crate things. One of them was filled with fucking like hente, and the other one was filled with ramen noodles, right? Anyway, fucking this dude ends up getting kicked out of the Marine Corps and going to the brig because during field day inspection, fucking Friday fucking mid-morning, the fucking CO and the sergeant major happened to be one of those days, right? Like not just like random staff sergeant, happened to be, you know, top brass fucking, not top brass, but, you know, fucking top brass for the battalion, fucking going through looking shit. And he's on his computer fucking jerking off to fucking like child porn. Like, and not like the fucking, I mean, I didn't see it, so I don't know, but the way it was described to me was not like the, yeah, that chick's on like barelylegal.com. She's probably 23, but they're passing it off if she's 18, but like, nah, that chick's like 5, dude. And it's like, yeah, weird shit. However, when I was a fleet returnee at fucking Denfos, I was bored. I was on fucking duty. And like, you know, when you're bored and on duty, what do? You go through the fucking desk just looking for shit because you got nothing the fuck else to do. I find this fucking wooden ruler and etched into the back of it, it just says Nichols watches you sleep. And I'm like, I have no proof that that's that Nichols, but someone scrawled this into there. And from what I understand, actually, let me go on MOL real quick. There's only one Nichols in this fucking MOS.
I could have sworn I knew a female Nichols.
Well, I don't know her. I've never heard of her. I highly doubt that she would watch you sleep.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and fucking Joseph Bondi over here is saying, "Hi, I'm Chris Hansen. Would you like to have a seat?"
Yeah, like I don't even know where to go from that.
Yeah, and Lodge, like Lodge said, fucking Nichols is a Marine Corps cryptid, dude. Things like fucking Bigfoot, man.
Yeah, that's.
Dude, Quantico is full of fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
Some of them ended up fucking being great. Some of them ended up not being fucking like, dude, fuck off. Like, I want to say per capita though, I have more friends from there than I had from anywhere else, just because the ones that were good enough to keep fucking around, you know. Hold on. Lodge said something I want to read real quick, but before that though, there was one I forget what his name was, and I feel like an asshole because he was like a good dude.
Yellow Horse?
No, it wasn't Yellow Horse. This is at Quantico. I'm just gonna say his name was Andrews. His name wasn't Andrews, but I'm just gonna say that for the sake of this conversation because I don't remember what his fucking name was. But I would get on this dude's fucking ass every fucking day. Like, dude was like when I showed up, like, giant fucking shitbag. Fucking ended up being decent enough before he left. Fucking, you know, good guy, just like bad Marine, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, fucking he DMs me like about a year ago and it's like, hey, it's me. And it's like some like weird Facebook fucking thing I don't know. I'm like, I don't think I know this chick. He was just like, oh yeah, no, it's Andrews. Got to, you know, made the transition, you know, I'm really mean. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, cool. How you doing? And she's like, she now is like, oh, you know, doing this, that, and whatever, you know, really coming to my own, fucking doing this, whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, all right. So you ended up being a fucking decent human being, just good person, bad Marine. So yeah, Lodge saying, so Master Guns Rhodes augmented Nichols out to PMO, and Nichols was caught jerking off while on post at the front gate multiple times. Apparently, it went all the way up to base commander, and he just looked over at the paperwork and decided, I don't even want to think about this, and warehouse Nicholas sometime before he got booted. That does not fucking surprise me at all. That sounds about like him. So
yeah. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. I've been drinking too much water. I need to go piss.
You're gonna go piss. Okay, well, right. While you piss,
hold down the fort.
Grab my mandolin to fucking, you know, entertain the masses and the shit. So, you know, if you are here and you're sticking through this, all three of you, this is your intermission. Nope, that's wrong. That was way wrong. I don't know how to play this thing. I don't even know why the fuck I brought this out. Let's go with ooh. Dude, nice setup.
Thank you. All right. Go away.
And we're back.
And we're back. We're going right about there. All right.
What's that?
So, oh yeah, Sudan. Flying to Addis Ababa, which, by the way, the embassy is about 8,000 feet above sea level.
Shit.
And Khartoum.
I didn't know the elevation was there that fucking high.
Huh?
I didn't know the elevation there was that high.
Yeah. Well, Khartoum is about 600 feet above sea level. So they're like, hey, we're going to go for a run.
No.
Now, anyone who knows me knows I don't fucking run. I hate running. I had shin splints every year. I had stress fractures when I got to Dinfos because I like motored my way through fucking boot camp and MCT. Well, yeah, I get like 100 yards into this run and I'm just like, oh my God, I can't fucking breathe. So yeah, we ran up a mountain like 3 miles, like up another 2,000 fucking feet.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, dude. And then the inspecting officer is like asking all these questions of like, he had it in his head is like, oh, you should know all this stuff about your host country and, you know, Marine Corps knowledge. And I was like, dude, I don't fucking care, man. Like, I just want to stay in post. I want to make sure someone doesn't like try to burn the fucking embassy down.
Yeah, what is it? So here are my 10 general orders fucking on the 8th day God created Marines.
What do you want?
From the halls of Montezuma has something to do with Mexico. Tripoli has something to do with Al-Qaeda's? Al-Qaeda's plural, right? There's a fourth verse, the Marine Corps hymn, that has something to do with Iceland.
Yeah. No, like he's asking, is like, what's the biggest city in Sudan?
The one on it.
Like, he's like, no, it's this. I'm like, dude, that's like right across the river. Like, it's the same fucking city. And also,
like Kansas City and Kansas City.
That's like, dude, I don't care. I didn't ask to come to Sudan. I was begging to go to the Bahamas. I just wanted to go scuba diving.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, if your region 8 was Central Europe, I think, or something like that, or wherever I was in Germany, that was region 8. There's 9 regions for MSG around the world.
Yeah.
And they're like, look, you're in Europe. You have it nice. You're going to Africa. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how good of a Marine you are, how bad of a Marine you are. You're in Europe. Your next post is Africa.
Like never Asia or like one of the bad parts of South America?
No, because no one wants to go to Africa.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough.
There's some good posts. Djibouti, I think, was supposed to be kind of nice because it's on the base.
I can see that because, like, if you just said Djibouti in general, I'd be like, well, that's not really that too much different. But if it's on base, fucking Camp Lemonnier is a pretty decent post.
At least you can get to it or something like that. But yeah, it's like, dude, and like, you want me to fly with? I was so the structure of MSG, you have your staff NCO, who's the detachment commander. And then you have your assistant detachment commander and your watchstanders. So I was the assistant detachment commander in Sudan because
Yeah.
I was the most senior sergeant there. Like fucking whatever, like some extra admin duties, but otherwise it would not really do anything.
Same.
So like part of my job was making sure everyone's like, it was kind of like an SRB. It's just a binder per Marine with like, your LES and all that MOL shit. And I was like, you want me to fly in Africa with all of these binders of all of these American service members' personal information? And they're like, yeah. Like, you fucking serious? I almost lost my bag the first time I did that. I was like, you want this shit just floating around fucking Ethiopia? No. Emergency contact information, SGLI, all that shit. It's like, no, you guys are fucking stupid. And this is a waste of money. We were doing this just fine online. But now we have to send out one Marine a day for like a week to just do this.
Well, on top of just bad planning and decision making, if you want to look at it from a financial point of view, the government in general, and especially the military, is very, if you don't use it, you lose it with budgets, which is why fucking August, September. Yeah. So like the fiscal year ends in fucking October. So September is like, when you lose the rest of fucking everything. So it's like, hey, listen, we only used half the ordnance we were supposed to use for training. Everyone's going to the range. We're dropping all these fucking JDAMs. We're going to shoot all these fucking Tomahawks. Like September is fucking like terrible for the environment because we're destroying it. Like, and I don't mean that in a metaphorical way. I mean, like, we're blowing it the fuck up because if we don't, then we're not going to get the fucking money next month.
So when I was in Hawaii, so I was at Mar 4 PAC. It was like, at least the way I was told is like, you have like Headquarters Marine Corps, Mar 4 PAC, the divisions.
Yeah.
Goes down. So, we're up there, and ComCam fell under the G3. It was like operations, whatever.
Yeah.
I remember one year they were like, hey, we have over $1 million. I forget what the number was, like 1.8, 1.3 something $1 million we have to spend. And I was like, awesome. Let's get new cameras.
No, you're going to spend that all on ballpoint pens and green notebooks.
We got new desks.
Oh, even better. Fancy.
Well, they renovated the COC, whatever the fuck. Super cool. I got to document like as they were doing it. Gorgeous photos of like Cat 5 with like all the different colors going in. And well, the whole thing was a raised floor.
Yeah.
So all the cables came up from the floor. So they had these sick triangle desks with dual monitor. I mean, like high speed for 2008.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, we're going to give you guys one of those like triangle desks. I'm like, I don't have a fucking raised floor. My outlet's over there. The desk is over here. I gotta have cables come like across the floor to this shit.
Yeah.
It's like, God, this is such a waste of fucking money.
But
it's one of those things like, I know I wasn't a good Marine. Okay, I was okay. I wasn't the best Marine. And I know I complained a lot.
Yeah.
That was me. But no one ever I never had any leadership that took the time to be like, hey, this is how you need to, you want to make a change. I get it. Like, they're all about making things better. This is the way you need to do it. Yeah. No one ever took the time to like teach me that. It was just like, dude, stop complaining. Like,
yeah, no, there's a lot of that, and then especially in the last fucking half of the bitch where it was like, nah, just Google it. I'm like, dude, no, I'm asking you because you're supposed to be the subject matter expert on this. But okay, yeah, sure, I'll fucking go to Google to fucking answer this fucking random ass question. But since we're on that, dude, is that line in Google?
Vitamin 116.
Nice. It's good scotch. No, you don't like it? Not a fan? I mean, personally, I'm on the Irish side of the fucking Gaelic argument, but you know,
I just gotten done watching Parks and Rec, and my boy Ron Swanson's all about the Lagavulin.
yeah.
Nick Offerman has his own Lagavulin blend, but the Lagavulin 16 was the one that he, the character loved. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, no, like I'm all about that though. Like every time somebody like sponsors like a product, it's like I understand that what your version of it is like the best thing. I guess this ties in mostly for me with like say guitars, right? Like say like Slash, right? He has his own signature fucking Les Paul. It's like, dude, that's really cool. But in 1990, you were playing this thing, so I understand you have this really cool thing that you're trying to sell, but I want the thing that you were playing then, not the new thing that you think's cool now.
Well, I'm not. I don't drink. Like,
yes, I don't drink either.
Yeah. Well, I don't fucking. I'm not a drinker. Like,
dude, no, I didn't know you had that much because, like, fucking. I remember you being fucking strict teetotaler.
Yeah. On MSG, I started kind of like, let me at least see what it tastes like.
Yeah.
But like, I still like I don't drink to get drunk. Like, I'll have about that much, and it's fine.
Which if you're not drinking to fucking get drunk, that's a good amount of something fucking tasty for your.
Well, that's why I didn't feel bad spending $130 on the bottle.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're doing that, that'll last you fucking half a year. So, I mean,
yeah. Well, yeah.
No, but the other thing too, though, is like if you don't drink the fucking, for the fuck of it, like if you're using it for quote unquote enjoyment or fucking medicinal or whatever, like at the very least, it's good for your fucking sinuses. Clears that out a little bit.
Yeah. But this was not what I was expecting.
How so?
Immediately, like I opened the bottle, and immediate thing that this reminds me of is an elementary school art class. Yeah. Like it's that smell of whatever, like finger paint.
I think I'm gonna stick with the Jameson then.
Yeah. Kind of an expensive lesson to learn, but everyone tells me it's great, so I'm just kind of pushing through it. I'm not big on like, what is this? 43%. Like 10 to 15 is kind of more my range.
Okay.
And I found a great. So when I was in Germany, my parents came out one time and we did this like castle river tour. Super cool. Like you stop at a bunch of little places and then jump on this boat and you go up the Rhine. And they're like, this is that castle and that's that castle and that's that. And I was like, holy fuck, there's a lot of castles here.
Well, I mean, like if you think about it though, like Germany is kind of a new-ish idea. Like Germany wasn't a country till like the 80s. And before that, it was like 90 different countries. So like it was like, hey, this is our country's fucking fortress.
Yeah. Well, we do, part of like this tour, it was a day trip kind of thing. Part of it is, they take you to a restaurant, you get lunch. We do the tour, we come back, and then they do a wine tasting. I haven't really done day tours around America, but like in Europe, it kind of seems like it makes sense. Like the tour company helps this business helps the tour company.
Right.
So the restaurant that we ate at, we went back to for a wine tasting. And it was like all these different wines from that region. But it ended with an ice wine.
How was that? Because I've wanted to have that for a long time, but I've never found it anywhere. What is it? It's Eisfin?
Yeah. I still have a bottle in the fridge.
Because forgive me if I'm wrong, but what happens is they grow the grapes and they harvest them the first time there's frost. Yeah. And between that frost and you drinking it, at no point is the essence of that grape ever above freezing.
I'm sure it's like shipping and stuff, but You know, it's like, yeah. So I mean, that's the whole thing. And in Germany, it's like heavily regulated. Like I'm pretty sure they, this crop, like this section, this is going to be the ice wine. And it is like the first frost. There is frost on the grapes. They harvest them, do all of it. But what the guy was explaining is like, if a regular bottle of wine takes this much, ice wine takes like this much to make half the size of the bottle. So it tends to be really expensive.
Yeah.
And this is one of those, like, kick myself now, because at that time during the tour, you could buy the bigger bottles of ice wine at a cheaper price. And it's like all the other wines are just fucking terrible to me. Like, it's just too bitter. It's not my thing.
Oh no, see, like I am all about the bitter wine. Like I don't like sweet wine at all. Like I like my wine so fucking sandy it feels like I just fucking like put my mouth down on fucking sugar cookie and fucking 29 Palms. Like I want to have to like take a sip of wine and then drink a glass of water afterwards.
Ice wine it's a dessert wine. It is sweet as fuck. And hi, my cat is acting weird. She doesn't know why I'm in here.
Do you not spend a lot of time in the fucking man room? Because like
this is the museum room.
Oh.
So I have all my bobbleheads, Legos, portal gun. All of my SIF checklists were good.
Fair enough. Well, considering we only got like 20 minutes ish left, do you want to fucking talk about that shit, man? Because like, what is it? So let's look at it this way. I don't know what the calendar / posters are on the right, but then
car museum. This is all cars.
Well, I mean, I see that there are cars, but I was like going from the what are the posters?
So that I think one of them is Ferraris and the other is Porsches.
Okay.
And
then I'm sorry, go on.
So a few years ago, I did a big road trip with my now ex. We stopped that's from the Simeon Museum somewhere in Philly.
Okay.
Like warehouse district, like rundown part of town. You walk in, and it's like, holy shit! Like,
why is this here?
Yeah, like original Shelby Daytona and like old Bugattis and old GT40 race cars. Like a great collection. So I bought a couple posters and a couple of the
miniature
cars.
Hey, how many cars you got back there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm gonna guess at least about 50-ish going up back. What's up front? Are they all the same scale?
Yeah. So so everything is all the big ones are 43 scale.
Okay.
So I started collecting those when I was in Germany. When I went to the car museums, I like cars. I'm in Germany. So it's like, well, shit, Stuttgart's like an hour and a half train ride south.
Yeah.
Porsche and Mercedes museums are there. You can do that in a day.
So are all those cars German cars? Or are they just like cars you think are cool, or is there a certain theme to them, or is it just like whatever the fuck you want?
Afford.
Say what?
Cars that I want that I can't afford.
Okay, so it's not like fucking, hey, here's a fucking Countach, and then here's a fucking 51 F1.
There is a Countach. The only two are there's a Toyota GT86, and I think should be right up on top. You probably can't see it because of the glare right there. Is a DC Metro police cruiser. One of my friends who I was in Sudan with became a DC cop, and he gave that to me before we left.
Well, that's a fun gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, well, I used to have this is like the fourth iteration of this display. But you can't see the lateral shelves. So the 43 scale cars are all in the back.
Uh-huh.
You want me to just walk you over there?
I mean, am I on your phone or am I on your
It's a MacBook Air.
Oh, dude, you get your fucking coin purse and everything, man. Shit.
Yeah. So
You got some shit back there, man.
yeah. So it's, I mean, they're all like, I've paid good money for some of them.
Yeah.
Did a little LED kind of doodad, but you know, American cars, Japanese cars, and movie cars, German, other European.
Okay, so you got them broken up by
Yeah.
region ish.
And then a few that are still on the cards. Most of these are like, it's a collection. Like it, you know, it's the Porsche series of Fast and the Furious, whatever. Christmas gift.
Hey, dude, shit's gotta fucking go somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Dude, man, that's the old fucking Batman the Animated Series fucking Batmobile.
So
dude, that was the coolest. That was the coolest Batmobile.
So
I don't care what anybody says.
this one, I got into. So I was collecting these. I was collecting the big ones when I was in Germany, 2013, and then I found some website where they were doing. It was like diecast collectors. Yeah. Most of it's Hot Wheels. Well, I found out that Hot Wheels does these things they call treasure hunts. So there'll be a car that they'll put like a special stamp on. I don't know if you can see on the roof.
Yeah.
There's like a special logo. So this is a treasure hunt. And like they're kind of rare, but then there's the super treasure hunt. I've never found one.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. I didn't know they did that.
It's one of those things like when you like get into certain collections or hobbies, there's like the people that deep dive. Hot Wheels is one of those. Like some of these are not hard to find, but there will be like a guy who will go and buy, where is it? Like the 917 or you know the Skylines or something, and they'll go to Toys R Us. Well, can't go to Toys R Us anymore. No. Go to Walmart, wherever, and they'll buy all of them. So okay. When you go on like eBay or Amazon, like, man, I'm missing this one car, I want to get it. It's like, yeah, you got to buy a lot of 40. It's like, what the fuck, man? I mean, you get scammers basically.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, and this is, yeah. And it's just one of those like, they're fun to look at. You know, it's.
Oh, dude, no, I feel you. I fucking love trinkety shit. Like, I don't know if you can see it back here, but on top of those amps, I have a few Terminator toys from the fucking early 90s. Oh, and, nice. And then the Fallout cabinet you got over here.
Yeah.
Which is fucking great, by the way. Like, you got all like, they're not bobbleheads.
Oh, no.
Are they bobbleheads? They are bobbleheads. They are bobbleheads.
So this is the only one that's not in the game. But okay. There's, was it like 20 or something? But they sold them in like sets. So you could buy it as a set of 7, or you could buy them individually. And it took fucking years. Like they released the first set and then the second set. And then the third set took fucking years to get. I was like, man, I'm missing like these 7. Like, when the fuck are you coming out with them? And then like, well, we have to fill in one extra. So we did crossed arms.
Yeah.
But they're all
Vault Tech 101.
Fallout 3.
I knew a dude that was like really big into Spawn toys. Like, and when I say really big into Spawn toys, I mean he got a part-time job back at fucking, what was it, EB Toys? Like back in the day, like just so he could like buy these or like put these aside from himself on the end. And what he would do is he'd buy 2 of each one. Like each one, he had 1 of each in a box in the fucking attic, and he had 1 opened in a fucking shelf, or opened and displayed on a fucking shelf. Like this guy was into it. Like I think that's a little bit fucking extreme, but
yeah.
Like I get a bunch of like the Star Wars Black series. Like I have a good amount of fucking them, more than I fucking should.
Yeah.
And then I have a bunch of Gundam shit, and then I have each version of the fucking USS Enterprise. But like
this, I bought this one
Oh, dude, and that's Lego too. Like, I know you can't see the fucking detail on the fucking
Yeah.
stream or fucking whatever, but like, dude, how long did that take you to put together? Also, by the way, for people listening, this is the Superstar Destroyer. It's what, 4 feet long?
51 inches.
Yeah, 51 inches, fucking Superstar Destroyer, the thing that crashed into the fucking Death Star at the end of the fucking Return of the Jedi. And this thing's built out of fucking Legos.
3,152 pieces. So the first time I built it was in Germany. I bought it on Amazon, had it sent APO or whatever.
Yeah.
And it took me 13 hours.
Ugh.
And I know it took me 13 hours because I started it. I left the cabinet open. I started it on Phantom Menace. I finished it as Jedi was ending.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you started it with fucking David Tennant and you ended with fucking
No, it took 13 hours because I watched the entire series at the time.
Yeah.
All 6 movies as I built it. And then I moved to Sudan. So I had to start a little bit, put it back together. And then when I moved to Greece, I was like, fuck that, I'm not doing that again. I'm not supposed to be there for that long.
Yeah.
And then when I got out and moved in with my wife in Arlington, it took me a couple weeks because I just did like a little bit at a time, but I super glued the whole fucking thing together.
That's probably a good move.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not building this again. Like
now, when you super glued it together, did you take it all the way apart and do every piece? Dude, did you keep the instruction manual or did you have to like reprint it out?
Oh no, I have the instruction. It is spiral bound. It's about an inch thick. Like, fucking big. This is not the best way to do this. Yeah. So when I took it apart, this is also like at the beginning of when I got this phone.
Yeah.
When I took it apart, are you familiar with the term knolling?
No, I'm not. What is that?
So it's kind of a thing for like Lego model making, whatever, where basically you set everything out and like organize it before you build.
Oh. So like a junk on the buck almost.
Kinda, yeah. So like I had fully taken apart and just like grouped everything together.
Yeah, and for those people that are just listening and not watching this, fucking he's got this shit fucking pulled apart on his dining room table. Like he's about to either put together some type of fucking like doomsday device or he's some type of fucking botanist that just cut a fucking plant into a million fucking pieces, showing all the fucking rings and the fucking trees.
So it took that much super glue. I think it's like 20 tubes.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23? 23 tubes of fucking super glue.
Yeah, the CVS that was across the street from my apartment probably thought I had some other kind of addiction, like coming in and just buying like 5 things of super glue at a time.
Now, what kind of addiction would you have with super glue besides huffing it? Like, fucking, I'm gonna like super glue my dick hole shut and see if I can fucking man my way through this.
Yeah, but the cool thing, one of the things I love about my wife, this isn't just mine. This is our international table.
Yeah.
So that's Murray. I think she got it in Munich, maybe Stuttgart.
Okay.
And it's just like little trinkets from around the world.
Dude, no, I love trinkety bullshit. Like that's my fucking jam, dude. Like I spend too much money when I'm being fucking touristy, buying stupid bullshit I don't need. Where did you get a fucking erect penis with wings like it's fucking Mercury?
Athens.
Oh, well, I guess the Mercury fucking analogy was fucking relevant.
Dude.
It's for fertility, motherfucker. Like, it's not a sex thing. It's fertility. It's different.
I can't remember the name of it. One of like the main squares, like when you get off the train, big tourist. I mean, it's nothing but tourist shops. you walk up and it's just like a stand of just wood giant cock bottle openers.
Nice.
And it's just there. Like you'd never see that in America. Like they'd be like, oh my God.
You can't do that.
Yeah. It's like, no, you want to.
People don't have penises.
Would you like to buy some plates to hang on your wall with like Athenian men fucking each other? That's Athens. Like that's their thing. Yeah. So I've got my gear.
Yeah.
Gotta have a portal gun. But
the cake is a lie.
Yes. Coin collection is kind of a mix between mine and hers. But the mugs are all hers.
I don't know if I've seen that many fucking coffee mugs together outside of a fucking.
So it's all
goddamn what is it? Souvenir store. And are those all different countries?
Countries or cities.
Okay.
So they're all Starbucks. Except I've got my Terminal Lance one up top from like OG Terminal Lance.
Like back when he was still funny.
Yeah. And still actually a Marine.
Yeah, but, both of which happened to be at the same time.
Yeah,
like that dude, like fucking. I used to love that guy, but then like about a year after he got out, he just started recycling his fucking jokes. It's like, all right, cool. I haven't seen this fucking comic 14 times from you. No new material or anything. Got it.
Yeah, I mean, like she's been collecting those mugs for years, but they keep changing them. They're just like, I get, like you got to refresh stuff, but it's like.
Right.
Well, I haven't been to that place, and I have this series, but now it's this series. It's like, well, fuck, now I gotta start buying them again in a new. It's like we have gone out of our way to get them before. Like a couple years ago, we did a big trip we went through Frankfurt, Stuttgart, down to Neuschwanstein Castle, which
that's the big Cinderella one, right?
Yeah. Built after the American Civil War.
Yeah, no, I was watching a thing on that recently, because I'm trying to immerse myself in fucking German because I'm taking it for fucking school, and the easiest way to do that is just like watch YouTube videos and like pick out what fucking words you get. Yeah. So like it was back before Germany was a thing because that didn't happen until the 1880s, I think.
Yeah.
Or like one of the last kings of Bavaria was like, I'm gonna build this fucker, and then got like halfway into construction, may or may not have been assassinated. And then the guys after him were like, all right, well, he already started it, so let's fucking finish this bitch.
Yeah.
Beautiful fucking place. I hope to go there one day.
Yeah, it's super cool. Like it sucks because it never got finished. I think he lived in it for like a few days, maybe a few weeks. And then some men from Munich
showed up and said, hey, we need to take your
like, hey, work. And then the next day he was found dead in a boat and he didn't like water.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So like the shitty thing is like there's a lot more to the castle than you don't get to see that much.
Yeah.
Like they take you through like the finished rooms and like, oh my God, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like we did that. Then we went through we went to Luxembourg, went back to Germany. I drove the Nürburgring. Then we drove to Paris, but we stopped in Bellawood.
Nice. Did you drink from the fountain?
I'm pretty sure that's why I never got COVID.
Oh, fair enough.
So, hey, if you drink from the Devil Dog Fountain, you're invincible. So.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, there's a battle in World War One. The U.S. Marines were at. It's called Bellawood, and it's arguable, not likely, but arguable. You can argue that battle is why the Allies won World War One. It's kind of a stretch, but you can do it. But there's a big fountain there because I forget what it used to be called, but they renamed the woods to like the woods of the Marine Brigade.
Well, so it's one of those weird things of like it's Bellow.
Yeah, but anyway, there's a big fountain there of this fucking like evil demonic dog head spitting water out, and it's tradition to go drink from the fountain if you were a Marine. It's
not easy to get to.
No,
like I found it on Google. We drove over there, and then it was like there's a There's a museum next to it. It might have been Eisenhower. No, Pershing.
Pershing.
General Pershing Museum.
A fun fact about Pershing: did you know that he was the first American 6-star?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Hold on, because Washington is a 6-star, but he wasn't. He never wore it. Didn't do it while he was alive. But when we sent American troops over there, the way to get Europeans to take us seriously, the only way to do that was to have a field marshal, and field marshal isn't a rank in America. But field marshal is equivalent to 6-stars. So we're like, hey, Pershing, here, just put 6 of these fucking on. Just tell them you're hot shit. Have fun, kid. They don't know the difference.
So General of the Army is 5. General of the Armies, plural, is 6.
Yeah.
Washington is General of the Armies of the United States.
Yeah, but that also wasn't until like the late 1800s.
Yeah.
Like didn't wear it. Pershing did wear it.
Yeah. It was either him or someone else. Like either they did, but they wanted it gold. Or they wanted like 5 gold or 4 gold stars. That's a whole other story of how I learned all that stuff. But yeah, Bellawood was super cool, and that's how I found out that. So there's an American cemetery there, American military cemetery, and that's a job that you can have. Like you can go on USA Jobs and apply to be the caretaker of a military cemetery overseas, and that's a government job.
Well, I mean, that sounds like a good way to travel.
Yeah, like it's cool, but like, and we went there. There was nobody there. I mean, it's in the middle of nowhere. Like,
well, I mean, they have that like huge ceremony every year. But besides that, I can't imagine why anybody in France would go there. Like, I live in the middle of fucking nowhere, Pennsylvania. But like, just say I lived in fucking Philadelphia. If half an hour out of fucking town, there was like a huge fucking memorial to French soldiers in the Revolution, like I might go there once.
Yeah.
It's understandable if it's in the middle of fucking nowhere, nobody goes there, you know?
Well, and especially because I deployed with 5th Marines. So it was like, I had that forage thing. It was like,
also for context for the listeners, that battle was 5th and 6th Marine.
Yeah, 5th and 6th, and some Army. It wasn't just Marines. But dude, like, I mean, you can walk around so there's the cemetery at the base, and the wood is actually just like a circle, just a dense pocket of trees, and there's a hill that goes up through the middle. So up at the top, there's another monument, some like old artillery pieces, and then there's like a trail you can walk with plaques that explain stuff about the battle. But there's still a lot of like foxholes there, like artillery impacts, trench, kind of some trenches. But it's like you can see like, all right, I'm like, and I have a video that I posted when we went. It's like, man, this is like it hit. It's like I'm standing like where the Germans were, and I'm looking out into the field.
Yeah.
Like, holy fuck, you assaulted up to this? Because there's no way you could see who's in there.
Yeah, no, because like at the time, I don't think it was actually that much different. Because like around that, it was supposed to be like wheat fields that actually most of the battle took place in. It was only called Bellawood because that was like where the last part of it was.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, it's a pocket. It's a pocket of woods. Like it's not that big, but it's like, I mean, you're just shooting into fucking trees.
Yeah.
And if the trees are there, I don't know how like I don't know enough to know like if they like bombarded the shit to artilleried it and knocked the trees down, but it's like, dude, you can't see in there. You can't see where people are shooting at you from.
Yeah.
And you're just running up there to fucking Enfield or whatever else, like Springfield.
Yeah, like 1908 Springfield. Yeah. No, but like, no, one of the other things about that though is, I don't know if you ever looked into it, but there's a whole region in northern France where like you can't go. It's like shut off to the public because there's still so much lead in the fucking soil that if you like walk around for a couple hours, you'll have cancer in like 3 years.
Well, when I went to Berlin to go cover their guys for the ball, there actually was like a part of the city got shut down because they found a bomb, like a World War II bomb.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, because I know when they rebuilt the Reichstag, they intentionally didn't cover over, for historic and political reasons, all the Russian graffiti. So, like, when you walk into like the German fucking parliament, I don't know if they moved the building or not, or if it's still if it's a historic site, or if they moved the government. But that building, you walk in there and you see a bunch of fucking hammers and sickles and like whatever the German, or I'm sorry, whatever the Russian letters for Hitler sucks dick, this like spray painted all over the fucking thing. And that's been there since 1945. And they were like, hey, yeah, so the Nazis were, to put it lightly, giant fucking douchebags. So we're not gonna cover this graffiti up.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. I mean, that was a weird thing. Like, there's no like you can't Nazi salute in Germany, like not a thing. But like it's walking around Berlin was interesting.
Yeah,
because like their embassy's in the middle, like it's on the Brandenburg Gate.
Okay.
Like most of the other embassies, they're kind of off to the side. You kind of have to go find them.
Yeah.
No, in Berlin, like the American embassy, it's like here's the Brandenburg Gate. There's like a bank, and then the American embassy, and then over here is the memorial to the murdered Jews of Europe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because like I would guess that makes sense because after that, it was like us and the fucking Russians fucking occupying the shit, and it was more Russians than us at that point. And then like when I say us, I mean America. And yes, the British and the French were there, and no respect towards them because they fucking did their part. They fucking kicked ass, took names, but the bulk of it was fucking us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's kind of like it kind of sucked because I was only there for like a couple days.
Yeah.
But like all throughout the city, there's just like a different tile for where the wall was, and it just goes straight through the American embassy. Like there's a courtyard in the embassy where it's just like here's a chunk of the wall, like where it originally was, and we just built around it.
Yeah.
It's like that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the other thing though, like back to the whole like no Nazi saluting and shit, like the thing with that is like that wasn't really that long ago. Like there's still people alive, that had to deal with that. And then excuse me, the other thing that plays into politics is it's not exactly the same, but people are still afraid of fucking Hitler,
Yeah.
or at least what he fucking stood for. So it's like, nah, dude, look, this just fucking happened. Let's not. And I do think that eventually that'll go away for better or for fucking worse. Just off the fucking thing that like on a numbers for numbers fucking count. Genghis Khan was like a million fucking times worse than fucking Hitler could ever fucking have dreamed to be. However, it was long enough ago to where like I could still show up at a fucking Halloween party dressed like Genghis Khan and be like, "Hey guys, I'm here to go from Poland to Korea. What's up?" And they'd be like, "Genghis Khan, what's up?" Which just kind of makes me think, or like my grandkids gonna go to fucking parties dressed like Hitler, and be like, "Hi guys."
I want to say eventually it'll be like it won't be as taboo, but we're kind of stepping back, and I don't know. But speaking of that, I went to Mongolia, and I was immediately corrected by our cab driver. No less than 2 miles outside of the airport, it's Chinggis Khan.
Oh, I thought it was Chinggis Khan.
Yeah,
Chinggis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Genghis, like no hard G.
I wonder where we get that then.
I have no fucking clue. But I immediately felt lied to by my education.
Really?
Like,
really?
Man,
An American education lied to you?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Now let me tell you about that.
How the fuck that happened?
As we're leaving Mongolia, while we're there, like we were there for like a month. We rented fuck knows how many of the bus type, giant vans.
Yeah.
Well, the chick who owned the company was in our van taking us to the airport. I swear to God, this girl sounded like she grew up in the U.S. Perfect American English, like not a hint of an accent. Never left Mongolia.
Like, did she even have the croak?
Not really.
Oh,
but she had never left Mongolia. She taught herself English watching American movies, TV, MTV apparently. That rings a bell for some reason. I was like, you're fucking kidding. like I would have sworn this girl grew up next to me, like next door to me. Like, holy shit.
huh. Well,
And,
fucking Pulliam's in the fucking chat, and he said fucking Bill and Ted got Genghis Khan to do. I'm sorry. Bill and Ted got Genghis Khan, and no one batted an eye. Can you imagine if they got Hitler?
ooh. Maybe it'd be a different world today.
Maybe.
I don't know. But another thing, learning, going to Mongolia, all these fucking communists, that's apparently a thing now.
Yeah, because like Mongolia used to be part of the Soviet Union, right?
Dude, like over 70% of the monks in Mongolia were slaughtered by the Russians.
Makes sense.
Like the Russians just came in and just murdered everyone. I don't remember which one, if it was Stalin or whatever. I don't know my Russian history enough, but I was like, holy fuck, like that's significant.
Yeah.
They don't hate the Russians. They hate the Chinese.
I mean, yeah, no, I can see that because the Russians would have been a recent enemy as opposed to a traditional enemy, and we think of it different, being, I guess, Eurocentric is the right word, if I'm being buzzwordy enough.
Yeah.
But fucking in Asia, they have this like generational fucking memory where it's like fucking your neighbor never did anything to you, but your neighbor's granddad kicked your granddad's dog, so fuck him.
So one of our translators, a early 20s something chick, told one of our combat camera guys, like they went off to go do some medical thing, humanitarian stuff. Told one of our guys, like, before I die, I will kill 3 Chinese. It's like, oh shit. Like,
dedicated.
Like that's people go off about racism in the U.S. Like that's some fucking racism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like one of those like weird arguments, because like you can't say that argument's bullshit, but it's like one of those things where it's like, yes, there is racism in the United States. If you don't think there is, let's go to Mississippi. We'll have a fucking conversation. Or South Carolina. We'll have a fucking or fucking New York. We'll have a fucking conversation. But fucking I was on the Mew in fucking Singapore, right? And we're on the fucking, we're on a bus? We're on a bus or a subway? I don't fucking remember. Some type of fucking public transportation. And all the fucking there's a lot of fucking ethnic Chinese in fucking Singapore. And they were looking at I think this dude's name was Williams, short little fucking black dude, and they kept looking at his butt, and he's like, why are you guys looking at his butt? And he's like, well, we're looking for the tail. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, all Africans have tails. Like the blacks are devils and they have tails. And it's like, and it's weird because they're not malicious about it. They're curious. They're like, we heard that they're black devils, so they have tails. And it's like, so like, what do you do from here? It's like, oh, we just wanted to know. We don't really care after that. Which is different from like American racism, where it's like, yeah, dude, go get a job at fucking whatever. We're gonna lynch you later, but have fun until then. And it's like,
I mean, yeah, that's just like,
well, like it doesn't fucking.
It's just pure. It's pure ignorance. Like it's not malicious. It's just ignorance. I don't know. I realized when I was in Thailand, going around Pattaya, like going in it, just walking in and out of clubs. Like every club had its own theme. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
walking into one and seeing a big MCCS sign and welcome Cobra Gold was like, I don't know, but let's go check it out. I realized, like, dude, I mean, just the culture over there. If you were black and you could sing or rap, dude, you'd make a killing working in the clubs.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's just some guy, like, he wasn't really that good, but he's just singing, you know, whatever songs were hot back, 2008.
Yeah. Stop killing, I don't want to kill it anymore.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's not like a malicious thing. It's just like, man, there's a market for people who impersonate Americans over there.
Yeah.
And American celebrities, like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, it is really funny to look at like the different degrees of racial prejudice around the fucking planet, you know?
I didn't really want to go into it.
No, because like, you know, over there it's more curious, not malicious. Over here it's malicious, and then in forgive me if I'm not being politically correct, in the Middle East, it's fuck you, I don't care, fuck you.
Yeah.
So
Well, over here it doesn't matter what the intent was, it's perceived as malicious.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, I mean, that's my biggest issue with whatever's, all the stuff that's going on now of like, I mean, it doesn't matter, anything is perceived as, you could have an opinion of, yeah, I'm weary of that group because, I'm afraid of they might take something from me.
Right, but just because that group is a certain
different
demographic, like you must be bigoted towards that entire thing. It's like, no, I just don't like this group of people. And by group of people, I don't mean like all of the insert ethnic group here. I mean like these 50 dudes. Yeah. But I don't like these 50 dudes. That means you hate the whole fucking thing.
Yeah. Like, I don't care about, like the NFAC. Dude, I'm all about it. Like, and have your guns. Everyone should have guns.
Wait, hold on. What was that first one? That was like a pole pup.
Nope. Oh, kind of.
Oh, dude, is that fucking what? It starts with a T.
Calico.
I was way off. That's what I was thinking though. Dude, Calico makes weird shit, man. It's like Calico. I've only shot a couple of them, and they seemed alright to me. But like, that's like bad guys in an '80s sci-fi fucking movie.
So this is the 22.
Yeah.
100-round drum. I just used this in a competition recently, just because.
I mean, because fuck it, why not?
Yeah, like I found it at a gun shop in the middle of fucking nowhere, and I was like, all right, I have to have it. I love weird guns.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, and unfortunately, my weirdest one is at a gunsmith right now. But I was like, man, there's a level 1 match. It's just a local match.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna take this thing out and have fun.
Yeah, why not? Especially if it's a fucking 22. Like fucking, I know that like prices have gone up a little bit because of fucking COVID, but like a year ago, you could get a bucket of fucking 22 long rifle for like 20 fucking bucks.
So this is my normal 22 competition pistol.
Ruger.
Smith & Wesson Victory.
Oh, okay.
Totally tricked out. Better trigger, hammer, a little racker. This safety was, oh my God, I've been begging them to make this forever. Lighter barrel, grips, everything. Like this gun's a lot of fun, but they're 10-round mags.
Yeah.
Which sucks. This is 100. So transitioning now, Steel Challenge the main competition that I shoot.
Yeah.
It's 8 stages. They're structured like it is. These are the 8 stages that you shoot.
Yeah.
So there is a baseline regardless. I could shoot a match here, you could shoot a match there, and we can compare numbers because it's exactly the same. Each stage is 5 targets. So and it varies, their layout, but there's one stop plate. So you can shoot the 4 in whatever order you want, but you have to hit this one specific plate last. So it's shoot 5 plates, change mags, shoot 5 plates, and you do it 5 times. For all but one stage, you only shoot 4. So normally, yeah, it's like, if you shoot more than 2 rounds per target, you're going to run out, and that's not a good time.
Yeah.
So this match that I just shot last weekend, yeah, I was just like, yeah, fuck it. 5 rounds on this one, 5 rounds on that one. It's just like I have the ammo to burn. It's like I'm just gonna do it.
So fucking speaking of shooting, this isn't competition. This was just, I guess, fucking around. But I want to say it was a year or 2 ago. I go to the range and I take my I don't remember exactly when this was. It might have been my wife, might have been my girlfriend before she was my wife, but me and her dad go to the fucking range, and for whatever reason, he has a bunch of fucking able targets, like a fucking roll of them. And for those of you listening at home, they're like what 6 foot by 6 foot paper targets with like a
18-inch circle.
Yeah, a person size fucking silhouette in the fucking middle of it,
Oh, the B mod.
Yeah, those. Sorry, yeah, B mods. Anyway, fucking, he's doing this thing where he's like, I'm gonna put up a new target. I'm gonna shoot like one thing through him, put up a new target, shoot up a new thing. He's got like a industrial size roll. No idea where the fuck this guy got this shit. Right? But I'm having fun, so I'm not complaining. Right now, he brings out like a bunch of fucking like Ruger fucking revolvers. Right, which, hey, you know what? Fucking fun to shoot. Got it. Right. So, I have my Bushmaster fucking AR out there. Right, and we're only shooting from fucking maybe 20 yards. Actually, fuck, it might have been fucking 30 feet. It wasn't that far out. Like, we were shooting rifles on the fucking pistol range type shit,
Yeah.
And, me and him had never been out shooting before. So, I hand him my fucking AR and give him a magazine, and he does the like whole, like, I'm going to put this in. I'm going to fucking put it around in the chamber. I'm going to breathe in. I'm going to breathe out. Pull the trigger. I'm going to breathe in. Breathe out, pull the trigger. Takes like 5 fucking minutes to shoot fucking 30 rounds. He peppers this fucking target, right? And then we go out and look at it and goes, yeah, I guess that's pretty good. Yeah, this, that, whatever. I'm like, dude, you got like 4 in the fucking black out of 30. Okay, yeah, sure, you did good, whatever, Like, I don't say it to him, like, yeah, sure, dude, fucking whatever. So, because, I'm trying to be cordial. And then he puts up a new target, and we get back to the thing. He hands me my fucking rifle back and goes, well, I guess you're going to show us how it's done now, right? So I'm like, yeah, sure, fucking whatever. Slap a fucking magazine and just like, pop, 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 pop. A shot grip's like this fucking big. And he's like, you fucking smart ass. And I'm like, it's not hard, man. You just point it this way and pull the fucking trigger.
Yeah.
Like, no, but speaking of that, though, fucking, my favorite gun to shoot is I have a fucking M1A, right?
Okay.
And I don't get it. I don't get this argument exactly. Fucking, I don't hear this from gun guys a lot. I hear it from like Facebook gun guys, and I think you would know there's a difference.
Yeah.
I don't understand all the fucking hate for the fucking M14 fucking system.
All right, so we're at almost 2.5.
Yeah, we'll give it fucking a few more minutes.
I don't mind going. I got nothing to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
But my computer is at 6%, and I need to go grab a charger.
Okay.
I will be right back.
Okay.
Maybe I'll grab some other guns.
Okay. All right. So since we're waiting on him, grab his charger and shit. Yes, it is Poker Face. I see a hand.
All right. So, as far as the M14 is a lousy service rifle, the M14 is a lousy service rifle.
Well, I don't mean it's a lousy service rifle. I mean, like, for me to go to the range and shoot it.
Who gives a shit? This,
Dude, is that a fucking AR-10?
no.
Oh.
It's an A2 style, but I bought A1 wood grips. Well, whole stock.
Dude, that is sexy.
Yeah, I fucking love this thing. But dude, working at the gun stores, I was making like $10 an hour.
Yeah.
And I was working at the fucking store that sold the shit that I was buying. Like, I did not leave with money. Like, the paycheck went right back into the store. It's like being a drug addict and a drug dealer.
Conundrum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I can't afford a Colt. I would love a Colt. I can't afford a Colt. They're prohibitive. Well, they're not prohibitive. They're expensive for no fucking reason other than it's Colt.
Yeah. Well, they get that name recognition.
Yeah. So this one's a DPMS, which by all accounts is not a good brand. I don't fucking care. Like, this gun's just fun. Like, it gives me my boot camp feels. You know, I've got my A2 sights. I still have the A2 furniture, so if I want to go full boot camp, I can. It's just fun. So, I mean, like, there is a valid argument of the M14 was a terrible choice for a service rifle.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much a fucking M1 Grand with a fucking magazine well. More
and a slightly different gas system. And there are some small changes, but you know, like I said, you know, about my time on MSG, I made really good money watching YouTube for 8 hours a day. I got really into YouTube. Like, I haven't had cable in fucking years because I just watch everything. YouTube's my fucking entertainment.
Yeah.
So there's a great channel. There's a channel with great information called Small Arms Solutions. The guy used to work for Colt. He used to work for a bunch of companies. Like, this guy has been in the industry in pinnacle positions. He knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Also, real quick, Pulling mask. So, in the eyes of the far left, would that still qualify as an assault rifle since it's wood rather than plastic?
When I throw my 40-round mag in it, definitely.
That's short answer, yes. Long answer, no. Medium answer, solid, maybe.
But so this guy, he put out a great video about why the M14 isn't good. He also put out a great video of why the M16s sucked in Vietnam. And ultimately, it came down to sabotage.
Like with the whole, like, not issuing you a fucking cleaning kit?
Not issuing proper cleaning kits, issuing the wrong ammo. So ammo that had the wrong powder, the wrong projectiles for what the gun was engineered for.
Yeah.
It was all done intentionally because people in the, what is it? The Army, I forget. It doesn't even exist anymore. But it was like, where the military was like leading, like in charge of munitions factories and like arms factories. Like at the time, it's like these guys were FUDs. They didn't want to switch to a plastic and aluminum rifle that shot this tiny bullet.
Well, yeah, no, which is kind of a dumb argument because if you take a wooden rifle and you take an M16 and you hold it by the barrel and beat shit with it with the buttstock, the wood breaks before the plastic does.
Yeah. And so basically, like during Vietnam, these assholes were like fucking with this stuff and like sending out the wrong stuff, which like undoubtedly got service members killed. All because because the rifle that they didn't want got approved.
Right.
But I mean, like the M14 didn't have a long service life, and even like the Garand, forgotten weapons, that one. So the Garand, it was supposed to have a magazine. But this same organization was like, oh no, if we give them 20 rounds, like they're just gonna waste ammo. Only give them 8. Yeah, that'll be great. And it's like, no, like fuckers, like you're fucking with the ability of these people to effectively fight. And it's like, so I'm gonna plug C and Arsenal. Another channel. Anyone who likes history and likes guns, C and R, like the letter C, ampersand, R, Senol, like Arsenal. Fantastic channel on YouTube. Started out, this guy Othias, like he was just making like posts on a website about the history of World War I guns. And people are like, "Oh, dude, you need to put this into video." I think they're like 100. They've got to be like over 170, maybe. So they do these long form videos. Of course, you're not in the right order. They do these long form videos on a gun from World War I. 131 episodes so far. So,
which is impressive.
Yeah.
To do that much.
They're like, most of them are over an hour. And this is like information that nobody has. Like this guy has to find books and get them translated from languages that don't fucking exist anymore, from the 1800s and early 1900s.
Which is kind of fucking intense.
Yeah. Like the amount of research that this guy puts in is astonishing. And he doesn't make money on it.
Well, I mean, if it's on YouTube, like he's got to make a little bit of money off it, at least for nothing else of ad revenue.
Not with guns, just because even though it's history and it's not like, hey, check out this gun, let's go shoot it and do a review and make money. It's like, no, this is purely just history. But YouTube's like, no, gun demonetized.
That's a fucking shame.
Yeah, and that's another rant. Maybe we'll have to do another episode.
We might have to. Just like strictly like no bullshit at the beginning, just straight into like, listen, guns.
All the fucking shit that Philip DeFranco talks about YouTube bullshit, he's never talked about the demonetization of gun channels.
Actually, he has once a few years ago, and I remember this specifically because he was talking about how he has a Kimber 1911, and he brought up that was his nightstand gun, and then whatever video that was in got demonetized, and the video after that he was bitching about it.
Huh. But yeah, so this guy, so I support him on Patreon. I think I only support like 8 people, and I do like $1 a month because I just don't have the money to do it.
Well, that, and like if Patreon was like fucking YouTube, like it'd be $100 fucking a month, and like nobody ain't got the fucking shit for that.
Yeah. So yeah, like, and it's, I mean, his stuff's fantastic because it's like, I mean, it's history level like stuff about like the gun designers. So they talk about like what was going on with like Mauser and all this stuff, like leading up with like this country, you know, why they went with this design leading up to the war, and then where these guns were in the war, and it's all just World War I. Like it's fucking amazing. Like I am super tempted to go buy this fucking rifle that I can't even shoot at one of my local gun shops just because of one of his videos. It's a 1886 Comblane that was used by the fucking Guard Civique. I don't fucking know. It's like 11 by 51 millimeter, and it's a black powder cartridge. Yeah, I can't fucking like nobody makes that ammo.
Yeah, no, I might have to check that out because I have a handful of Mausers. Like I have a 1914 fucking like little pocket pistol Mauser. I get a broom handled fucking Mauser, and then I have one that I don't know what it's fucking called technically because it's a Car 98,
Okay,
but it was made in 1918 in Sweden, and the stamps from the Carl Gustav factory are still nice and fucking pressed into it. So it's like
so
I don't know where this came from, but
within the last few months, he's done a bunch of stuff on different Mausers. So check out that channel. Like honestly, that's what I put on when I'm cleaning my guns because it's like it's good background noise, but also it's like I mean it's really well put together. They've got a guy that does like 3D renderings of the parts, so they give you like a diagram of like, look, this is how the sear moves,
and like the
and
full fucking like stupid breakdown.
yeah, and then they shoot them. Like,
Nice.
so like they have videos, and it's one that kind of got them really popular a few years ago of shooting a tank Gewehr. Yeah.
Dude, the guy at my local gun store that I go to, they have one of those. It's not for sale, and they tell you it's not for sale, but they'll let you hold it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's super cool. And I got to meet the guy. Actually, I got to meet like the whole team at the NRA annual meeting 2017, I think. It was up here in Atlanta. We flew up from Miami. And like we're walking around the show, and I knew like there's like gun YouTubers like around because it's a big trade show. It's, you know, time to see new products, but it's also time for them to meet fans. And I was looking at some shotgun, and my wife's like, "Hey, is that May from Seeing Arsenal?" I was like, "Oh, it is. That means Otthias is here." Like, I went full fucking fanboy and like stalked her like across the fucking convention hall to go find like where they were. Met them, shook their hands, like, "Hey, you know, I love your stuff. I appreciate it. Keep it up." And then we're walking back to our hotel and walk past some restaurant, and some guy pops out. I was like, "Hey, is that guy Nate?" Fuck. I turn around. It's
Yeah, how
this,
the fuck's he know you?
yeah, it's this guy that I met like 20 minutes ago, who I totally fanboyed, who has a YouTube channel that I love. He's like, "Hey, come eat fucking Korean barbecue with us." I'm like, "Okay." So I went and hung out with them for a while, and but they're like, you know, super cool. So like one of the interesting things on this, someone wants to see my feet.
Oh yeah, dude. No, he's all about the feet. You got to show him your feet. Feet have been shown. That's your fetish. You're welcome.
But so for a comparison for like shooting, you know, World War I era guns, Otthias is kind of a big dude. Like he's pretty tall. He's kind of a big guy. So they have this chick shoot the guns for them. Her name's May,
Because why wouldn't you?
because she's the same size and like frame as an average World War I soldier.
That's
So
fair
why
enough.
not? They did something with Forgotten Weapons a couple years ago. I think they called it Project Lightning, where they were like, all right, we're going to get all of the main machine guns from World War One and compare them. So they have like various Vickers guns, Lewis gun, the BAR, the two main shows, and they like set up like trials for like, all right, how is this for walking fire? How is this for like a reload, prone? Like, it's like, it's fucking cool.
Yeah, dude, that does sound like the fucking time to fucking be there to fucking see all that shit.
Yeah.
But on that, we're a little bit past the time limit, so I'm gonna let you go.
Oh,
Thank you very much for fucking coming on. And if anybody wants to check you out, which that's fucking sexy as shit. But yeah, nah, fucking my furnace and my pump are going off like fucking mad right now, by the way. So sorry for the audio quality. But thank you for fucking being on. And yeah, fucking
do it again sometime.
yeah. See you around, man.
Yeah.